Welcome back to the F&S Podcast. This is Matt.
What's happening, Josh? What it
Yep.
is?
So today, what we're gonna cover is the Fixing My Squad segment. We haven't done that in a while. We've been meaning to get back to it. So
Part
since it's the
two.
since it's the off season, we really can tackle these for real. You know what I'm saying? And then you said you want to talk about what team deserve an expansion.
Right. And then another series that we gonna get back to eventually is the eras,
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely do that. I mean,
because we only did one era, which is the one that we currently in.
mm-hmm.
So we got to go back to the 2010s, then we got to go back to the 2000s, and we got to go to the 90s, 80s.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna touch that. That ain't no thing. So the first team we're covering in the East, as far as fixing my squad, Washington Wizards.
Yep.
Now, we know they got my man's the big man. I always pronounce his name wrong, Josh.
Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah. He signed there. I don't think that's fixing anything. I think he needs something fixed in order to go. I don't know what's wrong with him going. I don't understand that move, but I guess is that a step in the right direction to you for them?
What's the goal?
I'm just saying. Like, I mean, they signed Valanciunas. Who did they draft?
Uh, they was the ones that got Alex Sarr.
Okay, so they got Sarr. You got Valanciunas. You got the new coach we talked about. You know what I'm saying? Who was an assistant for a long time. So do you think they're going upward? This is what I'm asking here.
I have nothing to say that they are moving upwards. You know,
They got Marvin Bagley the third. I like Marvin Bagley personally. Would you keep him?
Marvin Bagley's over there. Oh
Yeah.
dang.
Would you keep
Well,
him?
I'm a Marvin Bagley fan, so
Because with Valanciunas and Sarr there, where's Marvin Bagley? He's coming off the bench, or is Sarr coming off the bench?
they probably gonna start Sarr off the bench and let Valanciunas start, and then that Sarr. Well, I mean that's the way I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would make him essentially earn his starting spot.
Okay. So I'm looking. Go ahead.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, with Valanciunas there, he ain't gonna get it fast.
Who, Sarr?
Yeah, he ain't gonna get that fast.
I'm not gonna just dispute that. They was only 15 and 67.
Right.
Know what I'm saying?
I don't see how he would get that fast. Like maybe he's a better defensive player than Jonas Valanciunas. Yeah, that could be true. Is he getting buckets? I don't know. Jonas Valanciunas getting buckets. Now, there is a scenario where I can see them having Sarr starting and having Valanciunas coming off the bench. Because Marvin Bagley is an offensive player. He's an offensive forward. So you got to kind of have a balance there at the big man spot.
Well, they do got Sarr listed as a power forward, even though he was a center in the scouting report. But
And he like 7'3" or 4.
They got him 7 foot even, but he's skinny in a mug, dog. 7 foot 216. That's skinny in a mug, dog. For real.
Yeah, you need to hit the weight room, fam.
Dog, so that's crazy. So I mean, that's like some Chet Holmgren type stuff. But I'm looking at the guys. First of all, I'm looking at the guys and I'm thinking who I would keep first off. So I would keep Bagley. Patrick Baldwin, he could slide. Don't know who Jules Bernard is. Malcolm Brogdon, would you keep him or would you try to flip him?
Wait, as bad as my team is, I try to flip him.
He's 31. So, I mean, I didn't know he was that old, to be honest with you. So, I'm not saying that's old, but
for a minute.
I'm not saying that's old, but
because he got drafted by, I believe he got drafted by, I think got drafted by Milwaukee.
did he? I gotta look into that. He probably did. I mean, he getting paid a nice pretty penny too, dog. You know what I'm saying, Jared Butler. I mean, Bud Carrington, Justin. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who some of these cats is, dog.
I just came up on a website. I need to show you this.
What?
This website right here, where it has the whole league's depth charts and who's starting lineups and whatnot.
Can you link me that, or you on the computer? Oh, okay, yeah. Link me that real quick, because on the site I'm on was kind of. But I should have just saved the rosters, but I wasn't thinking. Well, now I know you a Tyus Jones guy. Would you keep him?
Tyus Jones is a free agent.
Oh, okay. So would you try to re-sign him if you them?
If Tyus Jones wants to stay, my arms is open. But
okay.
if I'm Tyus Jones personally, I'm not even entertaining it. Like the thought of keeping him has to be paired with him getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get that. Corey Kispert. The Gonzaga guy.
So right now, they depth chart that they got according to this website. They ain't got SAR worked in here yet, so I guess they still got to figure that out. But they got Jordan Poole starting at the 1.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Davis starting at the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Advin G. I don't know how to pronounce his name. At the 3. Kyle Kuzma at the 4, and Bagley at the 5.
I'm pulling up the Wizards right now, so I seen that. So I think this is wrong. First of all, you know what I'm saying? Like looking at it, I mean, obviously, I don't think it's updated because.
Well, you just got to consider the fact that they just filling in the spots from last year since.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I was saying.
Obviously, everything about this is going to be updated. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a more accurate thing when the season actually starts.
Exactly, because I'm looking at it like this. If this is me, like say if we got who I just asked about leaving, Tyus Jones, he'll be starting. He's a point guard. He'll be starting at my 1.
He'll be starting over all of them dudes.
He's starting at the 1 off rip. Okay. Bagley, I would have him starting at the 4 off rip because he's not a center.
And slide Kuzma back to the 3.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting rid of him though. Like him and Poole will be my 2 main trading pieces. I don't know what I can get for them because
that would have been priority number 1 for me in the offseason to get rid of him.
Who, both of them?
Poole.
You were keeping you. What about Kuzma?
I'll be more open to keeping Kuzma than Poole, but I would rather get rid of both of them. But the way Jordan Poole was acting this season, I don't need that in my locker room, and I don't want that rubbing off on anybody else on my team.
I feel you, 100% agree. Like I look at Jordan Poole, I know DeJounte Murray is better than him, but I look at them on the same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? Even though DeJounte Murray is better than him, his attitude puts me in that Jordan Poole slot. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I would say this: the difference between their attitudes is Jordan Poole. He acts like he's arrived, like he's that guy. Like,
I think it's because of the championship.
Absolutely, it's absolutely because of the championship. Absolutely because of the championship, and because winning doesn't make everybody a better person.
I agree.
I feel like Kevin Durant falls in that category. He's just not as bad.
Oh yeah, as a person, like.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I don't think winning makes it, because when certain people win, then they start feeling like they've conquered everything. They start a different level of cockiness can come into play.
I'm not disagreeing with you there. I'm just wondering.
Kind of like how I mean, this is probably about the only thing that he does that really irks my nerves. But with Klay Thompson, whenever somebody getting busy on him, the first thing that he want to do is hold up 4 fingers.
Right. But my only pushback with that is all these dudes talk trash. Every last one of them.
Right.
All of them talk cash. They got to the NBA. All of them talk cash.
I'm not saying that you're wrong there. I mean, that's part of the game. But my thing is, it's like, what does that have to do with what's going on right now?
It's like, but it's very similar to if you don't have, it's like this. If someone arguing and they know they have no point, you know what I'm saying? They have no, they don't have, they lost the argument. So they want to go to the, it's kind of in the sense on a light-hearted way. It's a low blow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like when Shaq and Charles Barkley, when Shaq which irritates me. I hate it. I hate it with a passion because Charles Barkley be making a legitimate, solid, actual point. Right. Oh, I'm a champion because this. And then Charles Barkley say, well, you rolled on folks' coattails to get it. Now,
I don't think that's true.
I'm not saying it's true and I'm not saying it's false. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Like, you know, Shaq always played with the elite tools. Always. When he won a title. Always had them. So point blank period. So it is what it is. He can't say that's not the case. Yes, he played a part, but he always had an elite 2 with him when he won a championship.
Yeah, but I mean, I would only say that kind of goes against him more so with the Heat than with the Lakers. Because with the Lakers, like, the hierarchy was established that Shaq was the top guy.
That's
now
cool.
we seen that Kobe was coming and we seen Kobe's talent, but teams was still like they got Shaq. They can have an answer for Kobe, but nobody had an answer for Shaq.
That's cool, but Shaq is just not gonna win it by himself either. So he always had a top dog 2 with him. Just like people like to use the argument about Jordan and Pippen. That's fine. You use the same argument with Shaquille O'Neal. When you went to the finals with Orlando, you had Penny Hardaway with you. When you went to the finals with LA, you had Kobe with you. When you went to the finals with Miami, you had Wade with you.
Right.
That's something that's good. So he can't say that's not true. I don't care how much points you average. You still always had an elite 2 with you.
Right. I mean, well, Penny was 1.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
He's a combo guard in a sense.
Right, yeah. I mean, but the difference between Penny and those other 2 guys, that was Penny's rookie season.
It don't matter. They still went. And Shaq was young too. You know what I mean? Like they both.
Yeah, he was young.
You know what I'm saying?
Young. But I guess the whole point that I'm saying is the top dog was really established in those things. And so on the Magic, Shaq was the top dog. On the Lakers, Shaq was the top dog. On the Heat, that's where you can say, okay, that's kind of in question. Because it wasn't his team, but he was the most experienced winner on the roster.
That's fine. But the whole point is that everybody needs help. That's the whole point that Barkley was making. Everybody needs some goons with him. And you had them. So you can't be talking all that trash. Same thing with Klay. 4 rings. Who's you have with you though?
Right. Yeah.
4 rings.
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like that's my thing is, why do you go to that, what you done in the past, and think that gives you relevancy to this year?
Because you have to understand though when you're getting cooked. So I mean, you know what I mean? When you getting cooked, is you know what I mean? It is that is what it is. But as far as this winter situation, right?
So I was looking at. Let me see if I can do my split screen thing.
Dang, okay, I see. I like how they got, so the people that's not actually in contract is not showed up on here. Okay, so dang, they got a lot of moves to make.
Right. I mean,
they got a lot of moves to make.
Sar.
Know what I'm saying? Right. Well, they get the minimum 2 years anyway. You know what I'm saying? Right.
So, looking at who
excuse me. Here, mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be going after old players per se. If I'm Washington, I'll be going after young guys, young guns.
Okay.
I'll get me a vet or two, which is you already got Valanciunas. That's your vet at center.
Mm-hmm.
So my first priority, because Tyus Jones is already 28.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I would be looking at Isaac Okoro from off of Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
He's a free agent. He's
Mm-hmm.
only 23 years old. And I'll be looking at, let me see. I seen him pop up earlier. Did I pass it?
I'm looking for the point guards. But like now, if you watched him, would you try to get Imani Bates?
Heck yeah.
Because in my opinion, not trying to cut your wisdom, when I'm looking at this roster, I'm like, okay, so what's the cheapest way I can make this thing happen to where not trying to break the bank on a lot of dudes, you know what I'm saying? But Dennis Smith, because we was talking about Dennis Smith. They was talking about Dennis Smith. They was actually talking about Dennis Smith on, I think, the Hoopcast or whatnot. They was mentioning him, you know what I'm saying? About the Spurs maybe trying to, look at him, things like that, So
remember we said that the other day, like they could get rich quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Washington, with these guys, like Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma, get up out of there. I would trade them two guys. I would definitely be trying to get Imani Bates and Dennis Smith at my backcourt. You know what I'm saying? If I can't get Tyus Jones, that's your starting two backcourt right there. That's your point guard and your two, right? Mm-hmm. Now your three. If you keep Kuzma, fine. You keep him at the 3. Then you have Sarr, and then you got Valanciunas, and then you got Marvin Bagley. I think that's pretty decent. It's not all that, but you can win some games with that. You know what I'm saying? Right, with proper coaching, you can get some games won with that. I think that takes them more so up than down.
Most definitely. Because they when you be this bad consistently, it's for a reason.
Because, like, what I would do, I'm going to just say what I would do real quick and turn it to you.
Go ahead.
I would do what I just said. I would trade Jordan Poole for a bunch of bench players if I can get them. If I fill out my bench with, like, you know what I mean, with those guys. Because even, let's say, for instance, Marvin Bagley can play the 3 as well, I think. Or is he just a 4? He's not no combo?
I say the best part of him that he can turn into a combo is if you mix him in for a small ball lineup at center.
All right, well, I would more, like you said, I'll more likely be open to keep Kuzma. If he's not, he don't have to go, but he's on the block though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
Jordan Poole gotta go. So if I can't, I would try to get Dennis Smith and my man's Imani Bates. Get him a pitch like, listen, we changing the culture here. Y'all two, you know what I'm saying? We got Sarr over here, we got Valanciunas over here, Bagley. We gonna have a solid lineup of players who can play ball. We just need y'all to execute. You know what I'm saying? Right. We going on an upper trajectory here. And then I'll be trading Poole, trying to fill out my bench and sign bench players. They need a
hustle guy. They need a hustle guy too. That's where I would be looking at Precious Achiuwa. I'll be looking at Precious Achiuwa.
I heard of him. I'm not that familiar with him, though. I know the name. I'm just not that familiar with his game.
Pretty much think of a lesser version of Kenneth Faried. That's what he puts me in the mind of.
Now, Kenneth Faried just disappeared out the game. Do the game appreciate Kenneth Faried right now?
Would they?
I'm not saying you. I'm saying, like, do they appreciate in today's game of a Kenneth Faried style kind of guy?
I don't think so. But if it's me making the decisions, I appreciate anybody that's willing to do all the dirty work.
Right.
So, I mean, Kenneth Faried would be on my roster today, to be honest with you. But that's how I think of Precious Achiuwa. He's like another Kenneth Faried. Same thing with the cat that got drafted by Golden State a few years ago. I don't know if you remember Jordan Bell.
Yeah, I know him.
Jordan Bell, same thing.
He was solid.
Right.
He out the league?
Yeah, he out the league.
I don't know why I thought he was in the league somewhere. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you know Jordan Bell, Kenneth Reed, Precious Achua, you know, they the same kind of players. Like they don't really bring nothing offensively besides second chances and putbacks and alley-oops.
Yeah, I mean, they can actually. The Wizards, it's not a lost cause for them. Like they probably got. I don't know who they still paying. I have no idea who's against their salary cap and stuff like that, past players. But I don't know if that really affects them now. I think they can actually get better pretty easily, actually.
Yeah,
They make the correct moves as far as free agents.
They definitely this is a team that they got to accept the fact that this is going to take a couple of years.
Right, but
there is no jumping straight to success with this.
Unless
you can pull off like a trade of some magnitude to get some kind of star player over there.
Even if they didn't get a start, if they sign
with
those
this roster, they still struggle.
I say this: if they made those, if they made them couple moves, right? They won 15 games last year. If they made those couple moves, traded Poole and all that, maybe even Kuzma or whatever, and got a bench, I think they can increase them wins. I'm not saying they'll be in the playoffs. I'm not saying they'll be in the play-in. I'm just saying I think they can bump that up.
I'll be dangling Jordan Poole to the Lakers.
For who?
I'll be dangling Jordan Poole. Well, look, you remember when we went over their roster and we seen like they got a nice set of role players over there.
Right.
I'll be trying to get a couple of them dudes.
Would the Lakers do it though? That's the question. Would they take Jordan Poole, LA?
I don't know. I can't say.
Like, would you really want him over there? I mean, like,
I don't know, because the question is with the Lakers, how desperate are they to get somebody else over there? Because the Lakers, they failed on getting any of their targets in free agency.
Well, we know why. We know why already. It's a clown show. That's simple. So, I mean...
Clown show, let me add another clown to your show.
Right. I don't think they'd do that. Unless... Only way I could see them trade for Jordan Poole if LeBron said do it. That's the only way. And I don't see LeBron wanting a guy like that. Unless
I don't see why
not. Team filled out. Unless he had his team filled out.
Basketball-wise, Jordan Poole would make sense for them.
Look, I'm not against a Jordan Poole. But I'm looking at LA, and I'm like, would they really want him over there? Like, this is the thing with Jordan Poole. He could play basketball. He could hoop. I'm not going to stand and tell you he can't hoop. Just like DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray cold on the low. Jordan Poole could hoop. But when you have a lack of focus, it affects your play. You know what I'm saying? It just does. I don't care how talented you is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if Jordan Poole had the right attitude, he'd be one of the, I'm not going to say he'd be like a tier 2 star. I'm not going to say tier 1. He'd be like a tier 2 kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? He can hoop, man.
I'll give him tier 3.
The dude, listen, I'm not going to ignore the fact that he was a factor in winning the championship. He wasn't just some non-factor.
Well, once again.
And he played a factor.
Once again, he was a distraction.
Whether it's distraction, you still need him. You could call Scottie Pippen a distraction. You know what I'm saying? You could call anybody on any roster who helped to start a distraction.
I don't view guys that have the ball a lot as a distraction.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know, Klay Thompson.
Why I wouldn't say Scottie Pippen is a distraction.
Klay Thompson, that distraction is going to be in the Hall of Fame. That distraction
but
is...
he's an elite version of that.
But I'm just saying, like, that distraction is so-called the greatest shooter of all time, spoken of like that. So, I mean, I don't necessarily view... Jordan Poole's skill set isn't exactly in distraction because he actually can create his own shot. You can actually throw the ball to him and he can create his own shot.
He's a better version of Buddy Hield.
We can agree to disagree on that.
Because Buddy Hield and Jordan Poole shoot about the same to me.
I mean, we could agree to disagree on that. I don't agree on that. You know what I'm saying? But we could agree to disagree on that because I think Jordan Poole is better than advertised. I think the fact that when people do bad, when people, it's like on a lighter note, the JaVale McGee, where people like to say, oh, this dude's an idiot. But JaVale McGee is actually a solid big man who actually affects the game in a positive way, whether folks want to see it like that or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether folks want to see it that way or not, JaVale McGee isn't just some scrub. You know what I'm saying? Hence to why he was still on the roster all the way until last year when this was the Kings. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's not Jordan Poole's antics lowered his value so much to the point that people feel this dude is trash. He just not locked in. We seen how he played in the actual controlled environment.
Well, he kind of tore down the controlled environment too.
With who? With Golden State?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if you heard about the things that he was letting slide out his mouth while he was over there.
I heard some things. I didn't
win the championship. So he was part of the teardown.
I'm not gonna say he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about on the floor, while a regulation game going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that. Now, as far as how folks, and this is the thing when it comes to practice or him getting ran up and getting his mouth ran up in, right?
It wasn't just that.
That's normal occurrences at practice. That's normal, man. If you've been on sporting teams, it's not when you got that many. Well, everybody who's in the league was big dogs on their team before they got to the league. They was big dogs. So you got egos there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was top of the state, all this, that, and the third, whatever. So they all got mouths. All of them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll say this about Jordan Poole. Jordan, yes, I do agree. Every player, at least every player of some sort of stature in this league, has the trash talking element in that game.
Yeah.
But there's still certain lines that you don't cross with teammates, even in trash talking.
With anybody, not just teammates.
Well, I mean, I'm just painting that picture because that's the element that it came in.
Right.
Because when you trash talk your teammates and you hit below the belt with your teammates, and you essentially make a habit of doing this, you are becoming a poison in the locker room.
Don't that apply to Draymond too? Wasn't he calling folks bees and all that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like, the thing
no
is,
doubt.
like, I mean...
No doubt. Draymond tore apart what probably could have been a Warriors' longer run of a dynasty.
The only reason why Jordan Poole wasn't given rope like that, because he wasn't there. He's not part of that core foundation. You came inside of a foundation. Draymond was there already, so they gave him a whole lot of rope. But he was violating like a mug, dog.
But the difference between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole when it comes to the on-court basketball stuff, Draymond is the floor general, the spark plug, the igniter, the leader, the IQ. He's the highest IQ player on that team.
That don't give you a right to be hit below the belt either.
No, it don't. It don't. That's why that Mike Dunleavy stuff that I sent you earlier today, when I was asking, is this real?
Yeah.
Because part of the reason why I was asking, is this real, is because I can see those being real things said behind closed doors.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you got the production of the NBA, the wholesome NBA and things like that. And then you got the stuff that behind the scenes. And behind the scenes isn't pretty in the NBA or any professional locker room. Right. It's not pretty at all. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's not pretty. I just say that. And you know that. So folks say all type of wild stuff back there. So I don't think Jordan Poole saying crazy stuff, I get all that. I understand that. If you want to get him up out of there, get him up out of there. But the same thing should apply for Draymond Green just as well.
You're right. You right. That's why I said winning doesn't make everybody a better person.
Yeah. So I mean, because Draymond,
winning doesn't make everybody a better person. Sometimes winning turns people into more of a jerk.
Yeah. So
and basketball wise, Draymond has more value than Jordan Poole. Basketball wise. Now, if you're just talking about putting points on the board in the individual sense, that's the only part that Draymond comes up short in. But everything else, organizing a 5-on-5 game, needing the lead and all that other stuff, Draymond was viewed as the most important player on that team for a while.
It makes sense because at the end of the day, Steph by himself, I don't think he has the IQ like that to do all. He don't. He's a in a sense, like, I mean, you can say he's a shoot first point guard.
Yeah.
I know folks don't want to hear that, but I mean, that's what I see. He is shoot first point guard. You know what I'm saying?
That's been who Steph has been since college. I mean,
so,
if you want to debate that, you're not even paying attention to who Steph Curry was when he was at Davidson.
So, I mean, them three success, they wouldn't have had it without each other. It's just straight like that.
Right.
Draymond, Steph, and Clay, they wouldn't have had it without each other.
Right.
So
going back to Jordan Poole, he was crossing some lines to where he let winning that one championship get into his head, and he felt like he rose up in rank, I guess you could say.
Right, but I'm gonna tell you like this. The reason why that got bad like that was because they leaked that footage. That was supposed to stay in house. That happened.
They still would have been messed up.
It wouldn't have been as bad because they could have nipped that in the bud behind the scenes without people knowing what exactly happened. You know what I'm saying? Even if you heard what happened, you could still nip that in the bud. Like, yo, that's not, y'all don't believe everything you hear type stuff, even though, but with that footage coming out like that, that messed him up, period. And that's all folks could talk about. Right. You know what I'm saying? He had an interview in the middle of the playoffs. I don't know if you remember that. You know what I'm saying? Where Draymond Green had an interview in the middle of the playoffs about that incident. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's how hot it got. So it was a straight distraction. That by itself. Because there's all type of things that happen behind that's worse than what Jordan Poole did. That's just straight up.
You're right. You're right. But what I'm saying is the things that Jordan Poole said sparked that.
I agree.
People got to understand your words have a price on them. And the things that you choose to say is going to cost you one way or another. Are you willing to pay the price that it costs for them words? Because when you start hitting below the belt, when you start saying things that puts into question other people's future and ability to be where they at and things of that nature, outside of them doing their own dirt to like dirty themselves up.
Yeah.
But when you start saying things in front of people,
yeah,
this ain't no private conversation that you having with them. This is you saying this in front of the team, in front of the coaches, so everybody can hear this.
Right.
It's like you crossing some lines to be as young as you are in the game. Now, maybe if you were Steph Curry and you said those things that he said, it doesn't get the same reaction because it's coming from the top dog on the franchise. Like Steph Curry, in a sense, is more important than any owner, than any coach in that franchise.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with a word that you're saying here. But I'm just saying, like, the whole point before we move on to Charlotte, because I think that Washington, we pretty much done. But Jordan Poole, I think that his skill set is ignored a little bit because his personality. And that happens with a lot of dudes. It's not just him. You know what I'm saying? But in defense of Jordan Poole, a little bit, I guess, to say devil's advocate, people have done a whole lot worse in front of people and said a whole lot worse than him. What blew that thing up was that footage leaking. If you hear them stories when the NBA players talk about what's going in them locker rooms, man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing kind of polite. It's nothing wholesome. It's not nothing the NBA brand is wholesome. There's nothing. It's all borderline prison activities. So I mean, you know, that's why I'm just saying, I'm like, hey, you know, it is what it is.
I mean, like, you know, players be sleeping with each other's girls and stuff like that.
All type of wild stuff. So my thing is this, you know, and this is my problem with certain people. You know, you can dish it, but you can't take it. You can run your mouth, but other people can, you know what I mean? Like, so, and right. Draymond Green strikes me as one of those guys who can run his mouth nonstop, but can't take it.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? But can't take it. He's only giving you what you dish. That's all he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure Draymond Green talked reckless about people in front of folks. You know what I'm saying? Quite sure he's done that. You calling folks the B word on the sideline, in front of the coaching staff, in front of the players, and everything during a live game. You know what I'm saying? So, all he's doing is dishing what you give, and you can't take it.
Right. I mean, essentially all it takes is folks getting punched in the face.
I mean, you know, and like I said, that stuff is a regular occurrence in practice, especially football. You see football where it's a fight every single practice. That's actually almost encouraged that they fight during practice. You know what I'm saying? That's almost encouraged. You see it get, you know what I'm saying? The coaches like that.
Yeah, because, I mean, it shows what you got inside of you.
So, I mean, it is what it is. But let's move over to Charlotte. Washington, I think they
it's a work in progress.
Make a couple moves, they can go up. But I think they got to get rid of Jordan Poole, though.
I think Charlotte, they have to look at it like this. You was a pushover team this season.
Uh-huh.
Progress for you is be a competitive team this season. Might not win a lot of games, but you should be competing almost every single time you step on the
floor. How many wins do you think they're going to get? Just guessing right now without none of the moves.
With the roster that they got?
Just with the Valanciunas, Sarr, you know they're going to sign him. Let's say, you know, how many, do you think they go up above 15? Or would they stay?
Having 82 chances to win, bro, it's kind of hard to only win 15.
I'm just saying, though, I mean,
you did it already one time. I think Jonas Valanciunas makes a little bit of a difference. It gives them, because Jonas Valanciunas, regardless of what people like to say, when he gets the rock down there in the paint, there ain't too many guys that can guard him. So they got they may not have an answer for what other teams have, but they may have a counter punch now for what other teams have. So I'll say they'll get to like 20 or so, 20, 25 games.
I could believe that. I don't think that's the issue.
That's only like 5 more games.
I mean, that's still better. Yeah, like I said, their team is not
still better. So. I mean, but ultimately, is going to come down to what kind of maturity has Jordan Poole developed.
I say this: if they stand pat, if Jordan Poole actually play to his actual skill set potential and act like he got some sense. Same thing with Kyle Kuzma, right? Even though Kyle Kuzma hasn't really caused problems, he just, you know, they can win about 26, 20. If they actually locked in and played, because you could win games just off being locked in and the other team not. You can steal games. People do it. It happens all the time.
A lot of teams that see you on the schedule and be like,
yeah. So you could steal, I would say you could steal at least about 7 to 10 of them games. You could steal if you actually lock in and play hard and stay locked in. You could steal some of them games due to momentum alone. They are NBA players. So, I mean, if I say about 26. If, but I'm not confident in that. So let's roll over to Charlotte. I'm looking at their depth chart. LaMelo Ball, never been a big fan. Cody Martin.
They got more to work with over here.
No, they got a lot more to work with. That's not, they got a lot more to work with.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know who messed up on their depth chart, but Grant Williams ain't no 5. And
no, they got him at the center, dog.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They got him at the 5.
Oh, well, I mean,
right?
I thought you...
Yeah, so I mean, look,
we can ignore this. We can ignore that depth chart. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly.
Well, all I'm gonna say is he's probably listed there because maybe Mark had an injury and he was trying to work his way back. But I'm gonna say right now, Mark Williams is the starting center. And Nick Richards is the backup center. You got almost 2 double-doubles right there because they got their points and their rebounds per game right there listed underneath them.
They kind of got a little... How many games they win last year?
Brandon Miller was their rookie draft pick from last year's draft, which is he showed a little something. I'm not going to say that he showed like he's going to be elite or anything, but he showed a little something.
It's not showing me how many games they won. How many games they win last year?
Charlotte, yeah. I think they was like 21.
They won 21? Now, who's their coach?
That's the question right there.
Because Charlotte, they got Trey Mann over there. He decent. I like Bertans. He can shoot it. The Mitchich guy or whatever, Mikey, whatever, he's all right. I'm not Cody Martin. Ain't he the twin? That guy from the Heat?
Yeah, the twin from Miami.
Yeah, okay. They don't have necessarily a terrible team, actually, if you think about it.
I sent you footage of their new coach.
The black dude, right? The young dude.
Yeah.
Who they was talking about. I just don't remember his name, but he had more energy than them.
Something Lee.
He was a young guy, black dude.
Right.
But I seen comments to where, which I thought was crazy. They didn't like they was paying attention to nothing he was saying, bro. Nothing.
He kept on emphasizing defense and communication.
They was not paying attention to him, dog. So I'm gonna ask you this: Would you be willing to give up LaMelo Ball?
Yeah. LaMelo Ball, he hasn't shown that he can move the needle.
I already told you I do not like how he played whatsoever. Like, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big fan.
I would try to get rid of him. I don't know to who and for what, but I would try to get rid of him.
Wouldn't
nothing is coming to my mind right away.
You wouldn't start Trey Mann over Cody Martin?
If I'm a coach, that's my position battle for training camp.
Like, because Trey Mann, to me, I like him a little more than Cody Martin.
If I'm them, I'm bringing in Lonnie Walker, and I'm having him compete with them.
For the 2?
Yeah.
So are you cutting one or trading one? Because somebody not getting no minutes.
Yeah, somebody's gonna get cut or traded.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna get cut, traded. I mean, like that's the process of bringing in competition. Somebody loses their job.
No, I agree with you. Brandon Miller. Is he a keeper?
Brandon Miller, that's the rookie from last year that showed you something. So he's pretty much got his spot locked because Bertans coming off the bench, he's only a shooter. He doesn't bring nothing else to the table.
But he's still useful, Bertans. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Bertans, I could see him
he'll spot up in that corner.
He's definitely useful on a... Bertans needs to be with a contender at this point. You know what I'm saying? I think because he gives you shooting. So you can dish it to open shot. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, dog. Like, to only average 7 points a game.
But you talking about the Hornets.
He was on Dallas and he wasn't doing much better than them.
When was he on Dallas?
He was on Dallas, but when they had Luka, I think he was on that Dallas team that had I think he was on the Dallas team when what's his name was over there. My man on the Knicks. Brunson.
Because the thing is with Bertans, think I got look at his age.
He's a tall dude. I think he's like 6'10" and can shoot.
I remember him with the Wizards. He was for the Wizards at one point. I remember, and he was actually
no, you're right. The Wizards was the ones that paid him that crazy deal at first when it was crazy because he had got like a $44 million deal.
He was doing a little something over there. So it's like, but I don't know if it's. I mean, yes, you gotta do more than shoot, but due to the fact that he can shoot so well, he's always useful some point. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's not a dude you just throw away because he can't shoot and you need that. That's why he's not no threat to take Brandon Miller's job because Brandon Miller can shoot too. I don't even think he'd take his job though.
No, not at all.
No, I don't think that anyway. But I'm just saying,
the job that's up for grabs for them mainly is that 4 spot.
Let me see. They don't really have. I mean, folks that's actually they don't really have no 4.
They don't. Because Mark is more of a true style type of center, more than an offensive type of center.
Yeah, Bertans can play the 4, but he probably can't do nothing at the 4 though. Like,
okay, so they drafted a player from France that's a power forward.
Well, I mean, that's they need anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's they need. So
I can't pronounce his name at all, and I ain't gonna try. But he's 6'9", 217, so another skinny dude.
What round was this? First round?
This is in the first round, pick number 6.
That don't mean nothing in this draft. That means nothing in this draft. So
that's what I'm trying to say here.
I'm not about to sit here and even go dive off into that. Like
you see his name right there is right under the leaky black guy. I don't know how to pronounce that name right underneath him.
Which website you on? I'm on the Real GM
I'm on the depth
website.
chart.
Oh, depth chart? Okay.
Yeah, the Real GM.
Yeah, I'm on Real GM. Yep. Let me see. Let me go back over
under the leaky black, there's another name. So Salon, I think his last name is Salon.
Oh, down there. Oh, all the way. Okay, yeah.
He was the number 6.
To John Nason. Yeah. We go just. Yeah.
So the ESPN breakdown of him, his strengths. They say he's a physically gifted power forward whose length, frame, budding versatility as a shot maker and defensive intensity stood out in his first professional opportunity in France. Weaknesses for him: he shows ability to make shots on the move. He lacks much in the way of ball handling ability and was inconsistent with his processing speed on both ends of the floor. One might expect from a late blooming 18-year-old at this level of competition. So they said his best days are supposed to be ahead of him. He finished last season better than he started and carved out a significant role. His combination of size, shooting, and competitiveness on the defensive end are intriguing, even if he's still just getting his feet wet at the highest levels.
Yep, so his brother's going to be out the league in about 2-3 years. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, that's what that means. That's all you're saying. Like, you know what I mean? He's not going to be around for too long, man.
Bruh.
Saying, like, I mean, is that not what's being, when I'm reading, what you reading?
Right. So, I'll be trading LaMelo, bro.
I definitely would get, especially, you know what? Because my man's, and this is what I said, like, when it comes to hiring a new coach, the way he all up in people, teaching the right things, he energetic. I need players on his program because we can get wins like that.
See, with the way that coach was, I feel like Chris Dunn would be great for them.
Where's he right now? Is he a free agent?
He's a free agent.
Free agent. You could probably get kind of a nice deal for LaMelo right now.
Yeah, I'll trade LaMelo and I'll get me a 2 or a 4, whatever. Mm-hmm. Because like LaMelo, I'm like this with LaMelo. Like I'll trade him away. I don't know who and for what at this point right now.
Right.
But my targets would be to get a 2 guard or a 4. First and foremost.
It's the talent's so bad, dog. That's the only problem.
I mean, what would you prioritize more, 2-guard or the 4?
With this squad?
Yeah. And that's assuming that you trade LaMelo and you fill that slot with a guy in free agency. Maybe a Tyus Jones right here. Chris Dunn, maybe.
For me, I wouldn't. For me, looking at them, even though I'm not a Cody Martin guy, I'd be objective. They not all that, but it's not like you exactly hurting at the 2 either. You know what I'm saying? Because Trey Mann is pretty decent. Cody Martin is decent. But that 4 position, I probably would be, because they don't even have no power forwards, dog. They don't have none. Besides the guy they drafted, I mean, you got 2 shooting guards, legit shooting guards. So if you're not able to get no shooting guard, it's not like you don't have any type of production at that position. Even though they're not all that, they can still give you a little something.
And here's my other question: what value does Grant Williams bring to this team?
What does he bring to any team, dude?
That's what I'm saying. Like for him,
what does Grant Williams do? You see, I haven't mentioned this guy not once. So I'll probably put him in a package with LaMelo.
Grant Williams, to me, the only thing that he does good is every now and then, if he's left open, he can hit that corner 3. Kind of like that PJ Tucker spot.
Which, just the thing, they're in the NBA. I would expect that. So I can't give you kudos for nothing like that, because you in the NBA, you should be able to hit that. That's the easiest 3 to hit in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's the shortest one.
Yeah, so I don't know what Grant Williams does that's good. I didn't see it in Boston.
He's not.
I didn't see it in Dallas.
He's not no great defender. He'll get emotional at times and he'll start talking like he is.
What Draymond say? You trying to beat me? You ain't me. You can't beat me. Remember that?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Do you agree with Draymond?
I don't think that he's trying to be Draymond to the fullest extent, because he don't bring everything to the table that Draymond does.
Right.
But
do you see where he's coming from a little bit?
I can understand why he's saying that, because Draymond is like, when you talk about stars, Draymond is like the 3rd guy mentioned on that team. He's been the 3rd guy mentioned on that team for years.
Right.
And for Grant Williams, at the time when that was said, Grant Williams was I don't know, was he even in the running to being 3rd guy? Because that was the Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they were still over there. So it's like, you got them over there, then you got Marcus Smart over there, you got Al Horford over there. Like, we thinking about all of them dudes before we think about you.
Look here, man, Grant Williams, I don't know, man.
He can go fly a kite, dog.
So he will be in the trade package with LaMelo for me.
Yeah. I just don't know where to go with that. Like, let me do a quick look at this so I can come up with an answer.
Zach LaVine and them available. I mean, you said 2, right?
Yeah, but
would you pair
him
with
to
his
trade
brother?
him to a team that needs a point guard to a degree by list. In Chicago, they got
Giddey,
Kobe White, and Josh Giddey over there. They don't need him over there.
You're right. You are correct.
Maybe Miami.
You think Pat Riley want him?
I don't think Pat Riley wants him, but I'm just scrolling through the squads.
Miami, who they got over there? You got
They don't got a point.
Who? Oh yeah, my man. He a 2-guard, the white boy. What's the white dude name? Shooter. Wait, he a 2.
They don't got a point.
The talent's so
it's so bad, dog. It's trash.
The talent's so bad. I mean, trading LaMelo, you're gonna have to get. All right, let me ask you this. You said you trading him for a point, right? Or you looking for a point? Or you?
If I can sign a Tyus Jones, I'm not trading for a point guard. I'm trading for a power forward. If I can't sign a point guard, then I'm willing to swap point guard.
Would you trade him for Scoot Henderson?
If Portland is willing to do that.
You'll do it?
Yeah.
How about would you trade it for Ayton?
I don't need Ayton because I got real centers over here.
No, I'm just asking. I'm throwing names out. Let's see.
So like with Atlanta being on the fence with Trae Young,
I was about to go there right there.
if Atlanta is on the fence with Trae Young, I'll be like, look, I'll give y'all LaMelo Ball and Grant Williams. You give me Trae Young. And I'll throw in a draft pick just because I know how good Trae Young is in comparison to the package.
You ain't got to give him no draft pick, dog. That's overkill.
You don't think so?
No, because I mean, in my opinion,
remember Trae Young led his squad to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, I recognize how dope Trae Young is. I'm the one who said I'd trade Tatum for him. I give for Trae Young in Boston. You know what I'm saying? But I guess so with the draft picks. I mean, I guess maybe. I mean, I just feel like you sweeten it a lot. I mean, because if they get Ball, Grant Williams, I don't know why teams like him for whatever reason, dude. I don't know why yet. You know what I mean? I don't know what he does, but I guess why not? I mean, if you know it's going to secure the trade, why not?
What about Houston? Houston just came out and said that they most likely not going to be trading. They not going to be signing Jalen Green and
Sengun, your mans.
So, I mean, for me, Sengun is an upgrade. So I'll probably pair Mark and LaMelo for both of them. I almost think you can almost pull this because they obviously don't value Sengun the way you do. You know what I'm saying? I like Sengun. I think he dope, but you know, so I'll put a package together that says LaMelo, Mark, and Grant Williams. I'll give Udoka Grant back because Grant was there for the Udoka days. I'll give him them three players. Give me Sengun and Jalen Green.
Yeah, I think that's a great trade. Now, if they ask for a draft pick in that, what's up?
Take it. Take it. I got my center. I got my two guard.
Yeah.
With that kind of lineup, I can sign Chris Dunn. I can sign LaMelo. If I'm really trying to do something freaky, I'll just go sign Dennis Smith Jr. with that.
Right. What do Udoka want a LaMelo Ball?
I don't know.
Because I don't know why exactly they willing to part ways with them two. I'm confused pretty much. Those are two of your best players on the team.
Yeah, that's
so I don't know what they own. So is this a Udoka situation, do you think? Do you think he just may not like them?
I think he might not like Jalen Green.
Why? What's wrong with Sengun, though? That has nothing to do with Sengun.
I don't know what's wrong with Sengun. I mean, well, you know what? Udoka is a defensive coach. He likes players that plays defense. Neither one of them are defensive players.
Dylan Brooks is some lockdown guy. Dylan Brooks be getting cooked to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But Dylan Brooks, like, despite his lack of success in that department, Dylan Brooks tries to play defense.
Isn't he just? No, he better than Grant Williams.
And then let me see here. Utah. I don't know if Utah would take a trade for him because Utah, they got Keontae George over there, and Keontae George was looking pretty solid. Like, he could be a good player in the future.
I don't know. If they sitting there trying to dangle marketing, I don't know what they own.
I don't know what they own either. I'll try it.
Yeah, if they dangling marketing, why not?
I'll leave no stone unturned with that.
Yeah, if they dangling marketing, like, I can see you trying to do it. So
if I can do that, if I can trade LaMelo to Utah and get marketing, and Keontae George.
I agree. I agree. But
I'll even throw in my rookie first round pick.
What's that worth?
Whatever they may think it is. if it adds value to it, do it. He ain't gonna be playing anyway. Not if I can get Lauri Markkanen. If Utah is really seriously out here playing these games, why not roll the dice?
I mean,
He's young. I think he only 24.
Markkanen?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like he's been in the league longer than that.
Well, remember, these players, they be coming into the league at like 19 years old.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, like, he could be a 5-year vet and still only 24 years old.
I mean, Charlotte, they actually got some pretty decent tradable pieces where they could, because what it looked like, they have to make some trades because they wasn't respecting the coach, not from the clips I seen. Me seeing that as the GM, folks
talking about what I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does the coach have
to keep on repeating the same thing?
That, and why does he have more energy than y'all? He seemed more excited to be on the court than y'all do.
Right. I mean, I think that's kind of common amongst every team in the league now.
What, not wanting to be coached?
Not wanting to be coached, not caring about practice.
I mean, like I said, that coach, I'm like, look, I like what I see from him. I want to see what he do on the floor, but for him, he's saying the right things. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm the GM or whatnot and I'm looking at that, some folks going to be on the trading block because we're not going to win games. And all it's going to be is a bunch of disgruntled players complaining about this guy. Because they being coached too hard. You know what I'm saying? He holding folks accountable.
Well, I can only imagine what that first film session going to look like.
With him?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially what he was preaching. They don't even play defense. Does Lamar? When have you seen LaMelo ever play defense? I haven't.
No. Brandon Miller, I can see him being all right with that. Mark Williams, I can see him being all right with that. Those really the only two players that I can see being all right with that.
Look here, man.
Mark. I would hate to let go, but I'm only letting him go for a marketing deal.
Yeah, I mean, some of these guys. I mean, listen, you got some pieces over here that you can actually. Like, I wouldn't necessarily get rid of Trey Mann. I like Mann. Mann was for the Clippers at one point. Is that the man that was for the Clippers?
No. That's a different one. That's Terrence Mann.
Terrence Mann also. Oh, I'm thinking of a whole different dude.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking, I'm like, yo. All right, well. I'm thinking, well, scratch that. I'm thinking that whole time I'm thinking of my man's like, he over there? Like, why is he coming off the bench? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking that the whole time. Like, the whole time.
But that's a trade target, though. That's a trade target. I don't know why teams have been letting him just stay over there.
Who, Terrence Mann?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, he over here in Charlotte, like, coming off the bench? Like, I don't understand this that's why I'm confused. Like, I know, I'm thinking of a different man, dog, the whole time.
There's another man inside.
Yeah, I'm thinking, like, yo, that's crazy. All right, so, I mean, so what moves, so your final moves that you'll make for Charlotte?
Okay. So LaMelo and Grant Williams trade package deal, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna try to send that. I'm gonna try to send that deal to. Man, this is small talent pool. Orlando needs a point guard. So if I'm them, I'm looking at Orlando. I'll give you LaMelo Ball for Franz Wagner.
You want LaMelo?
I don't, but I'm
Oh.
but I'm speaking from the perspective of being the guy making the decisions for Charlotte, and I'm looking at the landscape of the league. Who needs a point guard here?
Mm-hmm.
Orlando's biggest needs, three needs. We
Mm-hmm.
need a point guard, we need perimeter shooting, and we need paint protection.
Okay.
Those have been our biggest three things. Now we re-signed Goga
Uh-huh.
Okazi as center, so we might have the paint protection thing kind of answered a little bit.
Right.
I kind of want us to trade away Wendell Carter Jr. I want him off the roster.
You don't like I know he was complaining about him when we watched him live.
Right. So I mean, and it's not that he's not a good player. It's just that at the center position, he's a small guy. And he be getting cooked.
You're right.
And he ain't offensively talented enough to be a forward.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to be difficult about these fixing my squads is just such a bad pool of talent in the league, dog. It's bad.
I mean, that's why we repeat some of the same things.
It's bad.
I'm looking at Atlanta. Atlanta is my next move. I'm like, look, Atlanta, is y'all serious about trading away Trae Young? Because we got LaMelo Ball over here.
Would you try to? Is Jason Collins still over there?
And John Collins? No,
John Collins. I don't know. I keep calling him that, and why I keep thinking he over there. Capella's over there still, right?
Yeah, Clint Capella's over there, but I don't need Clint Capella. I got Mark.
You'll keep Mark over Clint Capella?
At this point, yeah. Mark is young.
Right.
Mark is young. Clint Capella been in the league, like he was on them James Harden teams in Houston.
You right. No, I was just wondering. Well,
my other targets on the West. Minnesota don't got nothing that I want that I think I can really get.
You wouldn't trade LaMelo for Cat?
No. Inherit the same problem at a different position. No, I don't want that. New Orleans already made their move. The Lakers. I don't want D'Angelo Russell, but I'll take Austin Reeves. I'll take Jared Vanderbilt.
For LaMelo?
Not straight up, but like I'm thinking of package things.
Right.
I'll take Rui. San Antonio.
They not making no moves, dog. I don't think San Antonio.
Now Portland. I don't know if they would be willing to, but I'll be trying to see if I can get Anthony Simons off of them.
But they didn't.
He's on a contract extension.
Oh, so he signed a contract extension?
From what I can remember, let me look it up real quick.
Because I thought I see something about how they ain't really trying to. I'm like, man, Anthony Simons, all right. Anthony Simons pretty decent. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Anthony Simons. He's currently on a deal. He's currently playing under a 4-year, $100 million deal. This is the third year of that deal that he's getting ready to come into. He's going to be making 25.8 this season, and then next season he has a 27.6. So you can kind of try to get ahead of things. But like, if I'm Chauncey and I'm sitting with Scoop, I don't want LaMelo.
So you'll try to get. So I mean, you will have to try to go for Scoot then, right?
I don't want LaMelo over Scoot.
I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I think Scoot. You already know how I feel about Scoot, But Anthony Simons, it seemed like they would trade him because he's getting paid pretty decently and he's coming up close to the end of his contract. That's usually when folks are tradable.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what teams are doing and how they monitor in that situation, but he's one of the players that I'll be looking at, and I'll be looking at him like, we can use that right there.
Right.
Like the Pistons to get a scorer at the 2, like a legit
far away from Detroit.
Huh?
I don't want nothing to do with LaMelo Ball. Nothing.
I'm not talking about LaMelo. I'm talking about Simons.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll trade Ivy for Simons.
That's an uneven trade for Portland.
You're right, but
You know
I'm
what
just
I'm saying?
saying, if that's somebody that they was really willing to let go, like if I'm Detroit, I'm all over that.
Right. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I'll take him. I mean, because Tim Hardaway will be coming off the bench for Simons, in my opinion.
Already is. You gonna start him over Ivy?
I'm not saying I would or wouldn't. I wouldn't. I mean, personally, but I don't know a bigger stat for him.
Is that the position battle for you in training camp?
Possibly. I mean, honestly, every position should be.
Because Tim Hardaway, I know people kind of forgot about what he's capable of doing.
That's what I'm saying. He could hoop.
Tim Hardaway is kind of like, he's capable of doing this.
Don't let this past season, like, I think there was some personal stuff that happened because he got traded pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? So
he wasn't being used.
There's something.
I don't know what Jason Kidd was on.
Something wasn't mixing and it didn't get out, which is fine. It's none of our business, I guess.
None of our business.
But something wasn't right because Tim Hardaway is not a guy that should be getting 0 minutes. He's too good for that.
As long as he's available, he should be a part of the rotation.
He's on a lighter note. I'm not gonna say he's a 3-and-D guy, but he's kind of a two-way.
I'll tell you this much: he's more impactful than a Dante Exum. I don't know how Dante Exum was, and not saying that Dante Exum played terrible because Dante Exum, he actually had some flashy moments.
Dante Exum is past his. Let's be serious here with Dante Exum. He's past his prime here. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, technically, he should be entering his prime if he stayed on track and staying inside the league. But
Dante Exum underachieved.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just that simple. And he don't even be looking like he in shape. But neither here nor there.
He runs like a dad.
Look, he don't look like he in shape. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. But Luka don't neither. So what kind of precedent you set?
True that, but Luka. This is the thing with Luka. He's one of the rare dudes that get away with that to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? He been playing against grown men since he was 14. So there's not much you can do to this dude. But as far as Tim Hardaway, he should start over Ivy. He should, but will he? I don't know.
JB is on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but I'll
tell you this much: if Ivy ain't starting, that's an early sign that he's on the block.
I mean, he should be on the block anyway. Personally, since they extended Cade, I mean, y'all let go. Wise about to be doing dirt with Rick Carlisle, man. I'm trying to tell you, but we'll address that once we get to Indiana. You know what I'm saying? But is that the move you making for Charlotte?
Those are my number one targets right there. I'm looking dead at Orlando, and I'm like, look, y'all y'all really need a point guard. Like, I looked at y'all in the playoffs. Y'all need a point guard.
You right.
Paolo's out there doing the thing. I'm giving you a point guard that can answer two problems for you. He's a point guard, and he can shoot from the perimeter. I'm giving you two answers to the biggest questions that you got.
Right.
Just give me Franz Wagner. I know I can't get Paolo. Give me Franz Wagner. Think about that, because you pair Mark Williams, Franz Wagner, Brandon Miller, you pretty solid from 3 to 5.
Yeah.
You shouldn't win. You shouldn't lose too many battles in the paint area.
Get rid of Franz Wagner. That sounds like a pretty.
If I'm Orlando, I'm saying no. But
yeah.
if I'm Charlotte, that's my spill. Like I'm
you.
like.
I think the only move that to me sounded cold like that, the Trae Young move, huh?
The Houston or the Atlanta?
The Houston one is my number one. That was I'm trying that. I'm on the phone with them nonstop. Honestly,
yeah, that was another team that I'll be on there too.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on the phone with them nonstop because if you don't want Jalen Green and Sengun, we gonna work something out. I'm gonna be bugging them. I'm gonna be bugging them all season. All season, all the way to the trade deadline, dog. Like I'm willing to over trade for that in a sense. Not too much, but I'm like, you know what? I can build.
To be honest with you, I'll take. Well, I don't think that he's going to be part of the trading block, but I would want a Jabari Smith too.
From Houston. Yeah, they're not gonna do all that. Jalen Green and Sengun and they ain't.
No. I'm not saying that. If I can't get Jalen Green and Sengun, I'll take Jalen Green and Jabari Smith.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, see, I want Jalen Green mainly. You know what I'm saying? I want Sengun too. You know
if I'm Charlotte, yeah.
I want Sengun too, but if I can't get Sengun, I agree with Jabari Smith joint. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I would definitely build around Jalen Green before I'm building around LaMelo Ball. That'll be my main focus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me get Jalen Green up off you if you're not gonna keep him. Cause my pitch to them and Jalen Green, like, look here, man. You coming to the East? Remember Muggsy Bogues and Larry Johnson? You got a chance to recreate this. You know what I'm saying?
Remember, look, we had Eddie Jones at one point.
Eddie Jones was cold. Right. He was cold.
I mean, like, look, you could be better for us than he was for us.
Possibly. You know what I'm saying? Possibly, even though Eddie Jones to me was an underrated two guard. At one point, folks had him better than Kobe. At one point.
He was starting over Kobe for a reason.
Eddie Jones was nice. He's not spoken about enough. But, like, because Jalen Green, to me, after that first year, I wanted him over Cade. I'm like, we could at least have my man. So at least because Jalen Green plays hard. He show you. So that's why I'm trying to understand why they're trying to let him go. But since it don't seem like y'all want him, look here. I'll be talking to Jalen Green. Like,
that's a big head scratching moment for me. Like, I'll be like, I don't know who put that out there for them, but I'll be calling them into the office. What you talking about?
Right. Like, for real, these are your two best players, dog.
Right.
So y'all trying to tank? Is this what y'all doing?
Who do y'all see coming out the draft that's worth doing all of this?
Or maybe they're trying to trade them for a star. But what star? Because they said they was interested in Devin Booker, Zion Williamson, and another guy. I don't remember that third guy.
I'd rather keep what I got.
Yeah, so if I'm Charlotte, I'm dead locked on Jalen Green.
Okay.
So
it's not a bad selection.
I'm dead locked on
Brandon Miller. That could be very interesting to see, depending on Brandon Miller's development, both of their developments, if we're being honest.
Yep. So that's Charlotte. Oh, hold on. How many wins you think they win? How many wins they get last year?
Last year they got 21. With this new coach preaching defense, that could probably climb up to 30.
They got to buy in. So
they got to buy in.
So from what I've seen, it don't look like they buying in. I'm gonna say the same, closely around the same amount, roughly, because LaMelo Ball don't play winning basketball whatsoever, not even a little bit. So, and they don't like they was feeling any of that defensive talk whatsoever, not even a little bit. And all that's gonna lead to is folks shutting down and not playing at all, really, if they sick in the message. You know what I'm saying? So I could see the potentially being worse, honestly. I can see that. I could see them being worse than what they was because you got this new guy in here. They don't look like they feeling them all like that. That's just off one video though, y'all. I'm not saying that this is true. This is what I was observing. And he was talking about playing actual defense. Yeah, they probably like what? Like, yeah, so I mean, I could see them getting worse or just staying in the 20 mark. So I'm that's my prediction for them. So the next squad we hitting,
I think it's
San Antonio or Memphis.
San Antonio.
Okay, pull up them Spurs. I don't know why I got my allergies is killing me.
They got San Antonio got Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm. That didn't pop up on here yet, but
no, they didn't pop up on there yet.
But we know he there. So Chris Paul,
he's starting over Trey Jones. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
now I'm gonna be honest. Without the hating on Wemby, they 2 guard, power forward, small forward. Them dudes are solid.
Well, yeah, they don't have.
One of them dudes is solid.
That team on paper don't look bad, bro. You put
Not
Chris Paul at that point guard position.
Yeah.
Because I like Vassell.
I like Keldon Johnson. Jeremy Sochan, he all right, but he'll
look better with Chris Paul. Chris Paul will have him looking better. So Chris Paul enhances all these dudes.
All of these dudes.
And what Chris Paul does for the Spurs, all that hating on Wemby is gone instantly. He not playing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he's going to be controlling the ball.
He not playing that. You know what I'm saying? So I know Victor Wembanyama is like, I could see Victor Wembanyama being in the MVP race.
If Victor is a real student of the game, he probably looking at Chris Paul coming over. He's like, thank you, Lord.
Yeah, I mean, they say he is. He seems to work at it. So I'm gonna go off what I see. All right. So
I mean, see technically, you could just ride out.
He could be. And with Chris Paul, if he healthy, he's in the MVP race.
Right. I mean, so the only thing that San Antonio needs to do, looking at this, they need to get more depth. I like Zach Collins backing up Victor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Zach Collins. Zach Collins has always been solid. He's always been solid.
I like Zach Collins, but you need to have another point guard just because of Chris Paul's injury history.
So wouldn't you got Trey? You got Trey Jones and Blake Wesley. No.
At point guard.
Those 2 backups right there. No.
I want to upgrade that.
To who?
That right there, this would be one of those landing spots for me to get I'll be looking at Tyus Jones. I'll be looking at
He'd be a great fit over there. He'd be a great fit over there, Tyus Jones.
Right.
You know Trae Young, I keep hearing that Trae Young want to play with Victor.
I can see why. But the whole thing with them is like, what you gonna give up to get him?
You gonna have to break up.
You gonna have to break up that depth. I mean, well, that starting lineup. You gonna have to break up that starting lineup.
That ain't something you willing to do.
Not if I'm San Antonio. No, I ain't willing to do that.
They are solid.
I'm already playing the patient game. So if I'm San Antonio, I'm looking at the point guards that's available in free agency. Okay, so I'm gonna read these names off to you. All right.
Yep.
Of the young cats, because you don't need to sign another old player when you got one starting.
Right.
The young cats, 26 years old, Markelle Fultz. Tyus Jones, 28. I don't know who this Kira Lewis guy is, but he was
mm-hmm.
Dennis Smith Jr., 26. Malachi Flynn, he was on Detroit.
He wasn't really doing that. So I mean,
Can't really know about him.
No.
Let me see. Who else?
The names that stand out was Markel Fultz.
Right.
And who's the other one? Markel Fultz. Who you read off
Markel
after?
Fultz, Tyus Jones, Dennis Smith Jr.
Markel Fultz or Tyus Jones. Those two right there. Dennis Smith, I like him too. You know what I'm saying? Them three, I'll be focused on them to upgrade that backup position.
You know, honestly, I'll be going at Markel Fultz first and foremost.
Why?
Because of them three, he's more of a true point guard.
I'm not mad at that.
Because I don't need another scorer to take opportunities away from Wemby and those other three guys.
Let me ask you this. If Chris Paul is healthy, which that's a big chance he's not, but let's say he is. Let's say he is healthy, right? Is that play-in?
You could be fighting for it. Like I said, they still need to improve their depth. Looking at that, they just drafted a point guard, actually. Stephon Castle. He's 6'6", 210.
Never heard of that guy. Never heard of that guy.
He just won a championship with Connecticut. So I'll read you the ESPN thing.
All right. Let's see if he's going to stay in the league long. Go ahead and break it down. Let's see.
It says excellent size and length with budding versatility on both ends of the floor. His competitiveness and unselfishness made him a key cog in UConn's NCAA championship run and give him a high floor at the next level. Excuse me. Weaknesses. He shot just 27% from beyond the arc last season, and his mechanics leave much to be desired, especially when shooting off the dribble. Castle's ability to space the floor will be a swing skill for him in the NBA.
I'm not thoroughly impressed with that. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, my face didn't twist or nothing. I'm just like, I mean, he sound better than the last guy, but I mean.
And this was the number 4 pick in the draft, by the way.
That means absolutely nothing. I mean, that means these numbers mean absolutely nothing. That don't mean a thing. You know that. This means absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? No one ever heard of the first guy, so it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? So I think the Spurs. I mean, so it seems like the Spurs don't really have much they need to do. They just got to gel.
They got to gel and they got to get that bench.
So you wouldn't.
Markel Fultz would be my backup point guard. Let me see who's 2 guards that's available. Because I feel like with a team like this, they need a shooter.
Yeah, I mean,
they need a shooter. Gary Trent Jr.
I like Gary Trent. I do.
I'll be talking to Gary Trent Jr.
to come off the bench, 6 man or something.
Bench. Malik Beasley, Luke Kennard.
I like Luke Kennard. He'd be a good bench player with the San Antonio system.
Seth Curry. I'm not sure he would want to come there, but
why not? He goes to a whole bunch of bad teams. This would be one of the better teams to go to.
You're right. I mean, I'm just saying, Seth Curry, to me, I'll be looking to try to add something to a contender.
But Seth?
Yeah.
Look, the Spurs not that bad. The Spurs actually, they would have won more games if folks wasn't blocking Wemby, honestly. If his teammates wasn't on that trash, they would have won more games, because as much as I'm not a big fan of no 7'5" dude doing this, but I do recognize what I see. And if he have a year of this in the league, and if he put on a little weight and get strong and do the stuff he doing, bam.
I don't know if his goal is to put on weight. I think his goal is mainly just to get stronger.
I mean, all he gotta do is get Giannis size. If this dude is Giannis size, like with the Giannis build, man, he'd be the most unstoppable dude in the league, man. Who gonna stop him?
Nobody.
Dog, that'd be a headache, man. Listen, man. So why do you think Chris Paul went over there? What was his motivation to go over there outside of going to any other team? Because
two names.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, Pop. That was his motivation.
And Pop for what? Because it's not like you playing with some Wemby, yes, but it's not like you playing with a team where it's, oh yeah, you about to compete for the title. It don't. I can't say that.
But how many times has Chris Paul played for a coach that's got a higher IQ than him?
Paul? He hasn't always played with bad coaches though.
No, but Chris Paul to this point in his career and the impact that he has on the game, I feel like he can teach all those other coaches something.
Right.
But Pop, I feel like Pop has experienced it all.
So you think he just want to go there and hoop? He don't want to.
I feel like Pop can teach Chris Paul something.
I'm not gonna disagree with that. You can always learn. That's the problem with people. They feel like they can't learn no more. You can always learn.
They can use the Precious Achiuwa over there. Because Precious Achiuwa, he's the hustle, but he's a thick guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you definitely can add something to him. But like you said, the bench. I'm looking at the bench.
The bench can elevate. Who over there you like?
Who on the bench?
Yeah.
The only one I like is Zach Collins.
Right.
To be honest.
That's the only one that I like.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting rid of him. That's my backup center. Zach Collins can come in there and give you solid minutes. Because Wemby only played 20 minutes per game or something like that. Something crazy like that. So, what I would do, once again, you know what I'm saying?
Hollering at Gordon Hayward and be like, yo, look.
Oh, Gordon Hayward would have fit perfect in San Antonio.
Right.
Coming off the bench. Yeah, all them do. So, all right, let me say
Sadiq Bey
this.
would be in competition with Keldon Johnson. I'm kind of like,
You would start him. You would have him compete for that.
well, technically Sadiq Bey should start over Keldon Johnson in
Uh-huh.
my mind.
Yeah.
Just because Sadiq, like when you look at that lineup, there's no shooter.
You right. You right.
Sadiq is the shooter.
No, you right.
So even though Keldon Johnson might be a better player, for this five to work, Chris Paul need to have somebody that he can dunk to down low and somebody that he can dunk to in the perimeter.
I'll say this. With all those people available in the free agent, you can fill out your bench real easy.
You could, but you got to go get them. I think this is that second apron stuff that dude was talking about in that video.
Yeah.
This that second apron stuff that they were talking about.
But is the
Speaking of, side note, did you hear about all that cap space that the Pistons had?
man? Listen, I don't even want man.
And they was like, "Yeah, Tobias, we need you, bro."
I don't even know why Tobias Harris. We already had him before. See what he did years ago. You want to do it at an older age? Why ain't you just go get Amani Bates? Amani Bates, that's a homegrown dude, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get Amani Bates, pay him. He gonna play with more heart. That don't even add up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fireworks going on or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear it, but I figured. But I mean, they can fill out their bench real quick. quick in free agency, but they don't have to pay that much. I don't think the Spurs is cap strapped.
Let me see. Do I have access to that?
I'm not looking at these dudes like they paid, like they getting paid all this cheese, and then I don't think.
Ooh.
What? They cap strapped? I don't see how. Who they paying all the money to, if that's the case.
Oh, they in the negative.
How? Who they paying?
I don't know.
Who? That's crazy,
Hold
though.
on 1 second. Oh, Vassell getting broke off. Vassell getting about 30 million this year. Vassell getting 30.
Folks be getting paid some man.
Gee.
Cause I'm looking on the team like
Vassell getting 30 million. Keldon Johnson getting 20. Zach Collins getting 17.
Never mind.
Victor Wembanyama only getting 13.
Well, you know what his Victor is gonna get a max. This stuff come up. So.
Whenever it comes time for him to get paid.
Yeah, he getting the max. He ain't getting no less than that. So, dang, I ain't know they was gonna get sold. Man, they in the negative. They can't do nothing.
So look at the cheapest paid player on the Spurs. City Sissoko. He's getting 1.89 million. That's Bronny James money.
Man.
Actually, that's more than Bronny James.
Yeah, so that's why they can't make the moves. Because they in the negative. Which I'm confused, like.
Yeah, so on that other website that I sent you, Spot Track.
Yeah.
If you just select the team.
Yeah.
It'll give you the breakdown of every player, what they making this year, the cap holds, the summary of it, the cap space.
Yeah.
First apron, the second apron, the tax, all of that is on here.
That's crazy. Can't believe my allergies acting up like this. This is ridiculous. Man, look. As soon as I stepped outside, allergies tear me up all day. I don't know what's going on, but neither here nor there. Yeah. So the Spurs, for me, that right there, then
just sit tight. Just sit tight with what you got.
They got a solid. I mean, like I heard Stephen A. Smith say, it's like they got a lot of talent that just don't know how to play it. That's how he explained it. And I think Chris Paul changes that. So.
That could be some truth to it. I mean, Chris Paul's effect on the game, like you've seen that thing that I sent you the other day.
Yeah.
Every team that Chris Paul went to, the first year, right away they got better.
No, it was cold. Remember when he was on the cover, 2K8? That Hornets team, talent-wise, wasn't all that. They wasn't all that.
Yeah, that was the David West and
they wasn't all
Tyson
that.
Chandler.
It was cool.
Did he have Peja Stojakovic that year too? Was that Peja Stojakovic and David Wesley?
David Wesley, the short two guard?
Yeah.
I always get him mixed up with Bobby Fields, but Bobby Fields died in 2000. But yeah, it could have been that. It could have been that year. But even then, like Peja was past his prime, if that was the case.
Yeah, Peja was past his prime.
David West, I mean, I like David West personally, but I recognize that
he okay.
He cool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Tyson Chandler, he no offense, player. Only lives. That's why Lively plays so much like him. You know Tyson Chandler mentions him. Right. Tyson Chandler mentions him. He played just like Tyson Chandler. When you look at Lively, I'm looking at Tyson Chandler, dog. That's what I see. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be successful with that, like Chris Paul, he's probably, do you feel like he's one of the better point guards, floor generals of all time?
Yeah, I think he has. I think he has a resume that speaks to that too. The only thing that he doesn't have is like a championship to show for. But like, there's a lot of great point guards that don't have a championship show for it.
Do you
John
think
Stockton don't have a championship show.
Well, he had his chances. So,
right.
And one like they was getting whooped against the Bulls either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those are some close games.
I'm just saying, like those guys, like he doesn't have one to show for.
And he had his chance too. He was in the finals as well. So
if it wasn't for that Heat squad, Gary Payton wouldn't have one. If it wasn't for that Dallas squad, Jason Kidd wouldn't have one.
Right. Yeah, Chris Paul is up there with all them.
Those
honestly.
And you know the funny thing is
you
about
probably
those guys.
What?
Those guys got their championships like in like they last year.
They got late in their career. I mean,
like late in their career.
Because Chauncey was cooking Payton. But like you could say Chris Paul is better than Gary Payton as far as point guard. You could argue that.
That's a fair argument.
You could argue that. But as far as the Spurs, what was they win total last year?
I think they had 22.
They only going up. They going up.
Yeah, and with Pop staying, like he signed that extension, so you got some stability there with your coach.
Like 100, but all right. And he 100. Like Greg Pop is old, bro. Like,
hey, I mean, this is.
I'm not mad at him, though. I'm just saying.
I mean, Pop's situation is this is probably what keeps him alive.
There's nothing wrong with that, though. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, especially since when your better half passed away. Right. I do not want to imagine no feeling like that.
Right.
So, I do not want to. So he probably would like to stay busy. Because that's what keeps a lot of old guys going. Right. They stay busy.
They need to have some sort of purpose in life to keep them going.
Yeah. So Pop,
for him to have these young kids teach basketball, that's probably what's keeping him like I can just imagine what he was like in the off season, like looking at things like, okay, we need to do this with him. We need to do this with him. Here's what you need to do. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So. Is the next step for Victor Wembanyama only getting stronger?
Yes, because
he kind of does everything else.
Yeah, I looked at him play and I'm like, it's not like he
rebounds well. He defends the paint
well. That's gonna always see that stuff is gonna improve anyway. Like he got all that in his bag. It's gonna improve. So that's really no point of saying that. He shoots
pretty well.
Yeah.
He handles the ball really well for his size.
Right. So
did you see him do any post moves?
No, he needs to work on that. His posting. But I think maybe due to him not being so strong, I'm not saying he don't have them, but he gets pushed out of paint a lot. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as he back in, so once he get that strength to him.
Well, that's where he needs to be quick and decisive time he catches the ball.
True.
Because for him being that tall, you don't need to pound the ball 2 or 3 dribbles.
No.
Because you're going to see over whoever's guarding you anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, his
hook
IQ
shot would do him wonders.
Once that IQ get there, he going to be a problem. So really, he just got to learn. Like he played the game for a year. He should only get better. You got Chris Paul, should only get better. What he needs to worry about is actually getting at least Giannis size. And once he get that, bar no injury, that dude he was already unstoppable as is, bro.
Right.
And I got to give him credit for that because I didn't think he'd come in and do that. So I got to give him credit.
Scared the crap out of certain players in this league, dog. Like,
yeah, man.
That's really got to be the first time that I ever seen a 3-on-1 and everybody scared to shoot.
That's wild. Ja Morant would have probably tried to go at him still.
Yeah, Ja would have tried to dunk on his head. I don't
right. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably would have still.
Great segue because the next team we're talking about is Memphis.
So, So Spurs going up. I don't know how many. I'll say in the 30s. I'll give them about 30-something.
Well, I don't know, man. With Chris Paul being there,
they might be play-in type stuff. So.
Well, I don't know, man, because the West is loaded.
I'm gonna just stick with I'm gonna stay high 30s. I'm gonna say that. So
look, the West the top 4 teams is probably going to stay the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Mavericks, and the Nuggets in some kind of order.
No, the Nuggets going to drop.
They might drop.
They lost too much depth.
You're right. But that's all right because Sacramento's right there.
Yeah.
New Orleans is right there.
That's depending on Zion's health.
Clippers probably going to drop a little bit. The Phoenix Suns.
Do you think the Clippers added by subtracting?
By getting rid of Paul George?
But they got Derrick Jones. Sometimes all them names.
No, because okay, so Paul George.
They made some other moves too. But he wasn't the only move they made.
I know.
Yeah.
But the Clippers ultimately is going to be relying still on Kawhi.
On the street clothes?
Yeah, that's ultimately what they're going to be relying on.
Well, I mean, go ahead and keep listing off them squads, though.
Yeah, let's see. I feel like Memphis is going to be back in this picture again, even though we're about to talk about them.
Yeah.
Memphis is going to be right back in this picture. Houston is like right there. They ready.
Well, if they about to get rid of Sengun and Jalen Green, they're not going to.
Well, they ain't getting rid of them this year. I don't think
okay.
So.
All right.
But they a team that was like right there at the borderline.
Right.
Of being a play-in team. So I think they take that step. We already know New Orleans should be a playoff team, especially now that you got DeJounte over there. You're probably getting rid of Brandon Ingram. Now, you lost Valanciunas. What kind of a blow does that put to
Big blow for them.
That's the question.
So it's a big blow. So, and then with Zion being so
I don't see San Antonio like clearing 8 teams right now, the top 8 teams.
I think they can end up better than the Pelicans.
They possibly could.
And then due to no Valanciunas and Zion never being available like that, and Brandon Ingram not having it in his chest, I could definitely see San Antonio going past them due to coaching alone.
Yeah.
And folks playing harder.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Golden State, you still got. I mean, I know they ain't no threat to win the title, but you still got Golden State. You still got the Lakers. I don't know.
Do you see the Spurs in that Golden State LA area?
That to me is they ceiling. Golden State LA area.
Okay. All right. Well, I agree with you there, but I think that because, injuries and all that stuff got to come into place, I feel like if the Spurs stay healthy, because I don't think Pop only going to probably play Chris Paul 20 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying?
He don't need to play those heavy minutes.
That's what I'm saying. He probably going to play him that. So, I mean, with the Pelicans, I look at the Pelicans like I think the Spurs could get them. Only because they start Zion is never available. But
we'll see what the rest of the offseason weighs because I think that's one of the teams that the current roster on paper is not what it's going to look like at the start of game 1.
Oh, I mean, no, we're going to touch on that. We already know that. So let's get to Memphis. I heard Derrick Rose retired. Is that facts?
I haven't heard that one yet, so that'll be...
I seen the post. I don't know if it was one of the fake posts. You know what I'm saying? But
I haven't seen that post.
Let me look this up.
I just seen the post of Kemba Walker retiring and him joining
Yeah. I know he retired, which I mean, kind of
he's on the payroll this year.
D Rose?
Yeah, he's on the payroll for Memphis.
All right, wait a minute. Here it is. Let me see. Let me see. Nope, I don't see that. I see a lot of.
Dang,
I see false.
Memphis got some players that's getting broke off, dog.
Do they? Let me check this out. So, all right. So,
Josh, your top money man.
I like Bane.
36. Desmond Bane, 34 million.
Who's that? V. Williams Jr.
V.
Williams, a small forward in the depth chart. I'm on Real GM right now.
Right, yeah. I'm still on Spot Track, so I can see their roster that way by how they getting paid.
Yeah.
Apparently he ain't somebody that's getting like a whole lot of clock or something like that. He only making $2 million.
They got him in the starting line.
well, you know, Memphis had a whole lot of injuries this past season. So they had to play players that they didn't really want to play.
You're right. Santi Aldama.
I think I know who that is. He's solid. Another player that was forced to play because when Brandon Clark went down. When Brandon Clark went down, that was like opening the door for him.
I'm not liking this line. I'm not liking this roster.
Well,
they need some adjustments.
Well, you got to look at them healthy. Looking at them healthy, they starting lineup should be Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, and then after that, they got to figure out who's the 3 and who's the 5. Because they used to have my man that always set the hard screens.
Steven Adams.
They used to have Steven Adams starting at 5. He's not there no more.
And losing him was more of a blow than folks would like to admit.
Of course. And then they used to have Slow-Mo over there. He used to be over there.
Yep.
Slow-Mo used to be over there, and I don't know who the 3 is. But they got Marcus Smart over there.
Yeah, but
they got Brandon Clark over there.
Desmond Bane can play the 3 also, can he?
He ain't big enough for that. They used to have Luke Kennard. That's who they had, Luke Kennard.
Yeah.
Right now, they just drafted Edey.
Can you see him starting?
Do I think he's starting?
Can you see that?
I really can't. Not right now. I think they will probably do what they've been doing, and that's playing Jaren Jackson at the 5, depending on who the matchup is.
He'd be on my trading block.
Yeah, Jaren. I'm not a fan of Jaren Jackson. I think he plays very stupid.
He'd be on my trading block.
He always in foul trouble.
Like that dude,
he got a weird looking shot for him. He always does stupid stuff that gets himself in foul trouble. He brings you something defensively. You can't hate him on them there.
Man, look, Jared Jackson, he'd be on my trading block. I'd be trying to, you know who I'd be getting? I'd be trying to get Aiden for him. Y'all want Jared Jackson?
No, I'll be talking to Houston. You don't want to keep Sengun?
Oh, yeah.
He played defense.
Right. You right.
Jackson.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he could fill in right for my man's at the 4. He can play the 5, too.
Right.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
I definitely do that. Yeah, 100%. You right.
I'll throw Edey in there, too. What's it going?
Both of them?
What Edey gonna be?
Like, listen, I'm not an Edey guy. I'm not. You already know I don't like Edey. You know what I'm saying? But since you drafted Edey, this is where you got to have the correct staff because I think staff is just as important as players. My strength.
Well, we already know they got the right staff over there.
My strength and conditioning coach.
With this.
Yeah, exactly. So my strength and conditioning coach. The first thing we're doing with Edey. We about to get that lower body strength on point. Nothing but squats, leg presses, all that good stuff. You will be unmovable down low. Even if you want to be moved, you won't be. You know what I'm saying? You already got a hook shot on you. Okay, cool. We gonna work on some post moves. So the first thing I'm doing it. We working on that strength. We working on that strength. Then we gonna work on about 2 or 3 post moves because you like 7'5", however tall you is.
Okay, so here's the question.
Huh?
How long you think that's gonna take
For him?
for him to actually have that down pat to be a good quality starter?
If you locked in, it shouldn't take long. But you be because you got the. I'm gonna
If
say
he
what.
locked in, what's the best case scenario?
I'll give him a year. I don't expect him to do much in the year this year. But my thing is this. If you locked in and focused, because it shouldn't take you that long to learn these 3 moves. Because with you being that big, you have an advantage. It's not like you Zach Randolph or you got to have a myriad of combinations to go to down low because you undersized. You know what I'm saying? And you can't jump. You see over everyone. All you need is 3. That's all you need. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need. And that strength, that's all you need. You don't got to jump like that. All you got to play defense, put both of them arms up. You know what I'm saying? Straight basic.
Well, he's another player that, as tall as you is, the best thing that he needs to do is he needs to get to his spot quick and early.
And he needs to be, and what's not being spoken of is aggressiveness. You got to be nasty down there. What Greg Popovich say? I want some nasty. We need that.
So for guys like him that can see almost over everybody that he's guarding, when you get in the ball, there's no need to do no dribble and bang and then move. No, when you get the ball, time you get it, go do your move.
And if you bang, you need to send a message if you're doing that. Look, these are the things. If I had a player like that, they will have to probably tell me, hey, don't say that. If somebody's on your shoulder, send them to the hospital. Send them to the hospital. That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? They eating shoulder. Because a guy that big, it's always the big guys who's not nasty. We seen a guy like Shaq, don't have much skills, but he was nasty down there. Couldn't do nothing with him due to the nastiness. You know what I'm saying? When you that, I don't know if you've seen, I didn't send you the clip, but DeMarcus Cousins was talking about Greg Oden. The other guy was talking about how, I don't know, I still would have selected Greg Oden due to this, and they was talking about how good he was. Greg Oden was nasty down there. You know what I'm saying? He was nasty down there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Zach Edey, if you develop some nastiness, you will be unstoppable. You're not going to be Wemby. You're not going to be him. You know what I'm saying?
He's a foreign player, too. Like, he's Canadian native.
I hear you. But a dude that big, I want you upset and angry every time you're on the court.
I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to foreign players, it's like, when it comes to that dog mentality, a lot of that don't be existing. It's like a lot of them, they just be coming in playing just to play.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But that's
now,
why
there's a few exceptions to that rule. Like, I mean, well, it really ain't no rule, but there's just a few exceptions to that. Like Giannis. Giannis don't play trying to be a nice guy or
Giannis
just
from Africa, bro.
Right. But
those dudes aren't exactly nice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
all right, so Luka. And then, like, I hate to say his
Luka
name
was from
again.
Serbia?
Huh?
No, Luka not from Serbia, is he?
That's Jokic. Luka is from Lithuania, I think it is.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, I hate to say this player's name because we mentioned him before, but he's probably one of the few ones, especially Canadian ones, that kind of have that, like, dog attitude on the court. He might not have a game to back it up, but he like try to play like a dog. Dylan Brooks.
He just may be annoying. Does he really have dog, or is he just annoying?
He got more than what I've seen from other Canadian players. And that's in this current league.
All right, I guess so. I mean, I see your point there. He just seemed more annoying to me than the guy with dog. That's all.
That's very. I mean that's a lot of truth to it too, because I mean he just runs his mouth.
Yeah,
Like anytime he gets a mic put in front of him, especially in them post press conferences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Annoying.
He just
Why let him talk?
He just
I mean, I didn't hear nothing from him this year. Udoka must have shut all of that down.
Oh yeah, Udoka not playing that. Udoka, he not playing none of that. So, but with Edie, I'll be in his ear the whole. That's why I said a year. I put him through a whole program, another but physical, all physical. You gonna eventually have to defend yourself.
Right.
I will have a literal program for big soft men, and because you're gonna be with us for 2 years, so at minimal. So you getting beat up all the time until you decide to do something about it. Point blank. Period. That's what's happening here. You know what I'm saying? You gonna either man up or cower out. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen.
Well, looking at their roster, they in more of a cap hole than the Spurs is. Like the Spurs was like negative 19 million. Memphis, I can't believe I'm seeing this number here, but they negative 52.
Who getting the dough?
Well,
Who getting the cheese?
Okay, so I'm about to list it to you based on this website and what it says here, right? Okay, so Ja getting 36.7 this year.
Okay, no problem.
Desmond Bain getting 34.
That may be a problem.
Jaren Jackson getting 25 and a quarter.
That's a problem.
Marcus Smart getting 20 and 21.
That's a problem.
Brandon Clark getting 12.5. John Conchar getting 6.1.
Mm-hmm.
Zaire Williams getting 6.1.
Mm-hmm.
Aldama, I mean, these are the guys that we start to get to the guys that really don't mean nothing, but like, and they still gotta like get to the contracts of. Now this probably has something to do with it because under the cap hold section, they got Luke Kennard, Zach Edey. I don't know who Lamar Stevens is, but that Yuta Watanabe guy, he was on there.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Goodwin and Evis Pons. I don't know who that guy is. So they got 6 guys at cap hold. So that's probably having an influence on this 52.
This new apron thing really done got these dudes. No wonder why they was talking about the billionaires scared of the apron. But they said that they wanted this rule.
Right.
To stop themselves from spending mad dough. So that's why you see, I think that's why there's a lot of parity going on now in the league. Because nobody can make moves. And all it takes is a couple of injuries and then it's open season for anybody to win a title.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, with them, first of all, the first priority is Ja Morant. That's the first priority.
Let me ask you this.
Morant.
Would you keep him or trade him?
Because I'm not in the building, I don't know all the details. I would need to know all the details. Because a player like that you want to keep.
Would you trade it for Jalen Green and Sengun? If they came to you like we give you Jalen Green and Sengun for Ja Morant, would you do it?
I want another player. Add Van Vliet to that because I'm gonna need a point guard. Add Van Vliet to that, and I'm signing off on it.
You'll sign off for the 3?
Yeah, Ja can be all pro.
That's like a bad trade. Van Vliet, a champion.
Because like,
who know how to play.
if I trade away Ja, that leaves me with Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
I need to get rid of Marcus Smart's contract. Derrick
you?
Rose, he really ain't costing me nothing because he's only making 3.3. So he really ain't costing me nothing. You got Scottie Pippen Jr. on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not, you know, I'm not in a rush to do that.
But trade Ja?
Yeah. But depending on what I see from him personally, because the only thing that I want him to do, don't pick up the guns.
Right.
That's the only thing that I don't want him to do. Don't pick up the guns. I don't care nothing about you going to the strip club. I don't care nothing about you being with your homeboys and y'all blasting music. Don't pick up the guns. Don't pick up the guns. And then the second thing, stop letting your parents turn you up. Your mom getting into situations, calling you to come up there.
Yeah, that Foot Locker joint. Yeah, I don't know if there was more, but he was doing other stuff. He was doing other stuff too. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about the infrared situation in the parking structure
with the Pacers.
That was the team where they was pointing when they see infrared beams.
Yeah. Like, once again, don't pick up the gun. I don't care if it's you physically picking it up or if it's you making phone calls.
Right.
Don't pick up the guns.
Right.
Don't pick up the guns. Don't send no indirect text messages. Don't pick up the guns.
Right. I feel you. Look.
If he hasn't shown me that he can do that, then yeah, unfortunately, I need to wash my hands.
I agree with you because it's just it's not like you're unavailable due to well, he did get injured this year. But because if you want to be real,
when he's healthy, he's a top 5 player.
He was supposed to be in Anthony Edwards' position.
Right, but with him acting the way he did and the things and stuff like that, you open the door.
He was supposed to be in Anthony Edwards' position. You know what's even crazier? He was supposed to be on the cover of
2K.
This year's 2K. The reason why he wasn't is because of that. So he put Kobe there. It's supposed to be Ja.
So look,
that's wild. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, look, he's in the process of burning bridges.
He is. You're right.
So that's priority number 1. Has he matured? Has he turned into a better person? Because apparently having a child doesn't do it for him. He has a daughter.
Let's be real, man. A retarded person can have a baby, bro. Don't matter.
No.
You having kids that don't.
No. What I'm saying is, for a whole lot of dudes that being like some foolishness, when they have a child and they like understand their responsibility, that'll make them a better person. They'll be like, okay, I can't do this no more because I got to be there for them.
An honorable person. Yeah, exactly. An honorable person, but
right. So if Ja Morant ain't that, he need to go. He don't. Look, he don't deserve to be in the league.
Listen, I'm not knocking or I'm not disagreeing with you because it's at this point it's like, what do you care about? Do you care about looking cool or do you care about actually playing basketball and winning? Do you care about what because like I said, once you step over and hop over the fence into this other world, everything's open. And that's a dangerous situation for people sometimes. You got a myriad of options and it's at your leisure. So you can either go over here or you can go the right way. But it's up to you. You really are in control of your destiny here. You really are in control of it. So it's like, you don't have to do that.
Right.
You could be over here working on your game. You could be studying film. You could be doing this, that, and the third. Look, like you said, my thing is this. Like I told you before, if I'm running a team, because one of my supervisors I used to work with when I was working at restaurants, he came in. Well, he wasn't a supervisor. He was subbing. He came in like, listen, I don't care what you do. Just make sure the orders is up. I don't care how it's done. I don't want to hear nothing. Just make sure everybody getting along, working as a team, and getting the orders done. That's all I care about. So don't let nothing come to the desk. I don't want to hear it. So if I'm running the team, because I have other things to worry about than what y'all do in your personal life. I don't care what you're doing in your personal life. It just better not hit my table. If I have to do something about it, then if I'm forced to get involved, then it's gonna be a problem because I can't be focused on doing other things. I have to discipline you. I don't want to do that.
Yes, but here's the issue. It's already hit your desk twice.
That's why I've said if I'm the guy there. You know what I'm saying? I'll make that clear. I don't know if he made it clear. My whole thing is this. That'll be my introductory meeting to every time. I'm gonna come down there and look, y'all. Everybody grown here. Everybody's grown. I don't have time to babysit y'all. I have a whole lot of other things I have to deal with. I'm gonna do my job. Y'all need to do your job. And how you do your job is making sure you practice hard, making sure you're trying to win, film study, all that. Now, if you want to go mess with girls, all this type of stuff, that's on you. There's consequences to all decisions. And if stuff come to my desk and I have to deal with it, I don't think you want that. I'm going to warn you one time. I don't think you want that. If it comes to my desk and I have to do something about it, I'll be the last person you want to. You'd rather see the police. Straight up. So I don't care what you do. Just keep it away from me in the facility. That's it.
Right. So with Ja being a repeat offender,
I would trade him.
He's a repeat offender.
I listen to offers.
Now, the only thing is his trade value went down because of that. Now,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It went down because of that.
It's not like he's still cold.
No doubt. He's still a cold basketball player. We all know that he's still cold. Like, can't nobody debate that. Like I said, if we just talking basketball, he's a top 5 player in the league.
Right. You can still get a haul for him.
But that's a team that's willing to take on that.
I think there's some teams that's willing to risk that. Right now, due to his age. There's teams willing to risk that.
And then you got the other aspect of not just the team, but the NBA. Because Adam Silver stepped in on some of his stuff.
Adam Silver. I'll just say this. If this wouldn't happen if this was David Stern. He would have been there would have been no, you gotta think about it. Michael Jordan had to fake retire. Okay?
Right.
Due to his stuff because of David Stern. That's Michael Jordan.
Right.
All right? That's all you need to know right there. That's Michael Jordan. He's still like, hey, man. So what you think he gonna do? Handle Ja Morant?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Adam Silver is way too lenient for me, cause these aren't your friends.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, look. At this point, he's still on the roster. He's your highest paid player. Is it a 3-strike system with him? Because he's already struck out twice.
To me, it's too. I mean, I would say so, but like you said, we're not in the building, so you don't know the details all the way.
Right.
I only know what I see. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to really but I will listen to offers.
Yeah.
I will listen to offers.
Yeah. Like, Ja, for him to want to be all of this and that, Memphis is probably not a good city for him to be in.
I mean, yeah, Memphis is, but I mean, if he go to any big city, it's gonna be a problem.
Well, he need to go to like Utah or something like that.
Like he definitely can't go to LA.
No.
He definitely can't go to LA. You can't go to New York. You know what I'm saying? Can't go to Philly. Can't go to Detroit. Chicago, none of that. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to do all that, can't do
Right.
it. Utah, you can't really get no haul from Utah for him like that.
No, you ain't gonna get no haul, but you'll get something.
Will it be worth the trade though? To you?
Peace of mind. I don't got to worry about marketing. I don't got to worry about marketing at all. I don't got to worry about marketing doing nothing. Look, this dude just went to his country to go serve the mandatory whatever requirements for the military in that country.
Right.
Last time I checked, there's no country that does that for people that are headaches.
You listen.
They rather have them out the country and not deal with them.
You right. You're not wrong at all. I'm just saying, like,
so I don't gotta worry about him, you know. And maybe he can go to Charlotte. He don't need to go to Atlanta. He don't need to go to Miami. He don't need to go to Orlando.
Orlando ain't that bad, is it?
Party cities or cities that have high crime rates. He don't need to go to them places.
But like you said, you'll be washing your hands with.
Well, I don't know, man. San Antonio was right there on the border of Mexico.
But usually, like you said, you be washing your hands with them, so I don't think you really care about where you trade them to.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, whoever takes him on, if they smart, they playing they putting the pieces of the puzzle potentially together to see how will he fit.
Right.
On and off the court. Canada. He can go to Canada.
The Raptors,
Scotty Barnes and a couple of
Quickly. What you trading? Quickly, Scotty Barnes. Who else?
Quickly, Scotty Barnes. They got a center over there.
Or are you satisfied with just those two?
Those are the main two that I want. Quickly, Scotty Barnes. They can keep RJ Barrett. They got a center over there though. I forget his name, but I'll just get him just to have another body.
Yeah, Memphis. With them being that salary cap like that, I didn't know they was strapped. I'm looking at this like, how, man? That's crazy. That tells you these dudes be overpaid.
Well, the whole league has been overpaid.
Because you should not be in the, I guess you want to say, second apron with these dudes.
Well, look. Let me tell you right now. Part of the reason why, look, and for those who listen to this, we don't understand completely what the second apron is. So
yeah,
if y'all can clarify that for us and give us a breakdown for this, maybe this is something that we just need to do some more research on and figure out what this is.
I'm just saying, you shouldn't be a no penalty with these dudes.
Right. So, but the whole thing is, part of the reason why players get overpaid is because of the lack of talent.
Yeah, but that's still, I get it. But that means you're being impatient.
Well, this is the era of people wanting it now.
Because
this is the era of people wanting it now. Because think about it. When the star power is less and less, it becomes a bidding war for the few players that are available.
Yeah, but this is the counter to that. I get it's a bidding war. But you overpaying for this dude, are you gonna win still? No, you're not.
For some people, they may. So once again, this goes back to my other point. I think I made it. I don't remember what show it was, but it was a long time ago. Not every owner cares about winning championships.
No, I knew you was about to say that. But I'm just saying though, why are you gonna pay, like for instance, pay all that money to a guy like Tobias Harris? Why?
He doesn't care about winning.
It moves no needle. The needle just stays still. It may just go down like it don't. And you gonna pay him what, 50-some million? Why would you do that? You could just keep that.
Right.
And be patient. And then when some real talent show up because you're going to lose regardless.
Right.
This is what's going to happen. You're going to lose regardless. Why are you going to cap strap yourself knowing you're going to lose still?
Right.
You're still going to be in the same position.
Right. I
just be patient, and when some folks come along, that's why you got to be cold with pitches. That's why you got to be cold with scouts. Look here, you could change this whole franchise around what you want.
Like you said, you can't be scared to go overseas.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could change this franchise around. I'm gonna pay you life-changing money to change this. Somebody who really cold, not these mediocre dudes. Somebody who's really cold. Look, this you right here. It's all you. Right. Blank check. You know what I'm saying? For somebody who nice, but that require patience though.
Right. But we live in a world where everybody wants it now.
Man, listen.
Everybody wants it now. They seen that confetti falling, that green and white confetti, and they like, I want confetti falling in my building.
How long did it take for Boston to get that confetti? After 09 or 08, whenever they wanted. How long did it take for that?
Right.
Exactly. It's called patience.
Over a decade.
You know what I'm saying? Patience. Patience. You know what I'm saying? You have to be patient in this situation. There's no fast way of getting this. Even when you try to do it fast. You try to trade for 3 stars and all this. It don't work. Now you didn't put yourself not, you know what I mean?
Well, let's keep it real. The only teams that worked for was Boston and Miami.
Yeah, Boston did trades, but they trades wasn't outlandish. You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm just saying the fact of pairing 3 stars together.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Boston and Miami is the only teams that won doing that.
And the crazy thing when Boston did it, it wasn't even like they was trying to really even, because it happened on draft. I remember it happened on draft day.
Right.
Kevin Garnett had to approve the trade because he didn't really want to get traded. Because I think they ended up getting Ray Allen first. Then after they got Ray Allen, KG was like, okay, fine, I'll go. But even then, it wasn't like them dudes was in their prime. They was all past their prime.
I hear you, but once again,
and then those dudes have high IQs and know how to hoop, right. And they play in a different trying to pair a Kyrie, a Harden, and a Durant together, all ball dominant players. Kevin Garnett not ball dominant, Ray Allen not ball dominant. Paul Pierce not even really ball dominant like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why Rajon Rondo fit perfectly with them.
Yeah. You know, even if you're gonna do that, you gotta have the correct mix of guys to do that.
You can't just throw 3 scores.
No, you can't. Absolutely not. Look at the Suns. You know what I mean? So it's like, I would just, if I'm a losing franchise, I know I'm a losing franchise. Only thing I can do to preach to these guys, like, listen, I know a position we in. I do. But if you playing hard or working hard, you have a spot on this roster. You got to try to win, though, because you can get wins by trying to win. If I see that, you have a spot on this roster. But I got to see that. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm being patient, all that. And then once an elite star pop up somewhere, now I can pitch to him like, listen, what we got over here.
Well, the other thing is, too, I would preach to my players is don't get comfortable.
That, too.
Don't get comfortable. Don't think just because you was successful last season means that you're going to be successful this season. You need to add layers to your game.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to prove that you can be consistent, not just game in, game out, but year in and year out.
No, that's true.
Because each year is going to present a different challenge for you.
That's true. No, you're right. I'm just saying that's just one sector of it, but absolutely, you got to improve every year. You have to improve.
While I do want them to feel like they have their job, I do want them to also understand that it's my job that if you start slacking, to let you know, give you a fair warning.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next step after that is moving on.
Well, that's all part of it too. You know what I'm saying? That's all within conjunction of all that. But as far as Memphis, because it is getting late, I didn't even realize what time it was.
Yeah.
Man, You know what I'm saying? But as far as Memphis,
Ja Morant's priority number one. Number two, re-sign Luke Kennard based on whatever you can do with that because you need a shooter.
yeah.
I mean, Desmond Bain is a shooter too, so you ain't piss poor there if you don't keep Luke Kennard.
You can use another one. Yeah, he's dead. He's a dead shooter. He's a straight. He's serviceable.
I don't know why you committed to Jaren Jackson Jr., but
I would take offers for both of those guys.
for real. Who would that be? I don't know.
That's why I take offers to see if somebody called me with some stuff. Like, if not, I just turn it down. You know what I'm saying? But I let folks know how to say, look, if you Ja Morant to a lesser degree, but Ja Morant, Jared Jackson is definitely available. But I'm listening for Ja Morant. I'm listening.
At that point, I might as well get rid of Desmond Bain too. Because
Yeah, I mean,
because if Ja making 36 and he's making 34,
yeah, I'm not mad at that. I mean, Desmond Bain.
I mean, I'm just thinking about it money wise. I'm like, I ain't building no franchise around Desmond Bain.
No, you're right. No, I mean, look, Desmond Bain have to go too eventually. But I'm just saying, like, if you not for instance, if you get some cold players back, you may not have to give it to Desmond Bain. If you get a rebuildable piece. So I'm saying that's why I will listen. Because maybe they may hit me with an offer I wasn't thinking of. Like, wait, are you willing to? Because you never know. I'm saying? You never know who somebody willing to come up off of. If you're not the one proposing, they may come to you with some proposal.
Well,
because they got a problem on their hands. You know what I'm saying? They, you know.
So far, the only star player that's on the squad right now that I can think of that's been like in rumors of being moved is Trae Young.
Ja for Trae isn't necessarily a bad trade.
Straight up, it is. The only thing Trae Young really does better than Ja is shoot.
You get rid of, like, when you're doing the trade, you get rid of a problem for a problem at the end of the day. Like it's a problem attached to that trade, whether it's contract wise, whether it's attitude wise. They're trading them for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Unless you getting a guy that you're doing a solid for, but usually they pass their prime.
Now if I got full faith and trust in my scouting department, I don't necessarily need a player. You can throw me all the picks. Now I'll take other solid role players, but I don't want to inherit your contractual issue when it comes to your cap.
But you know that's what trades is, though, for the most part.
That's what some of them are.
That's what I'm saying.
Some of them are, look, we just need to get rid of this contract. Are you willing to eat it? But other ones is like, look, we willing to stay with this problem if it means we can win a championship. We just need another player.
Right.
So if I'm Memphis and my scouting department is really cold like that, I'll invest in draft picks.
All draft picks for Ja Morant?
No, ain't no such thing as no all draft picks. I'm just saying, like, I won't need no star player in return. I'll get like some young cats along with a great haul of draft picks. Because that's how Oklahoma City did it.
I was about to say he's about to do like a Paul George thing.
Yeah.
When they did Paul George.
Because look at where Oklahoma City is now. Patience and just stacking up them picks in time. I still think that getting rid of Giddey is a mistake. Not that Caruso was a bad player to get in return, but getting rid of Giddey, I think, is going to hurt them more than what they think.
But they got Hardenstein and Caruso.
Once again, Hartenstein is good.
Like you still, I mean, I know, but you still.
But Giddey is like, I'm not saying he's a floor general, but he was able to do a little bit of something, or actually a lot of something when it comes to distributing out there on the court.
There was some
Who's
issues.
doing that now?
There was some, at the end of the day, they didn't want him. And they got him up out of there real quick.
For Caruso.
Look, they didn't want him. There was something going on there. I don't know what.
We know what was going on.
It can't be that. It can't be that. The underage situation, it can't be that. Because they was protecting him. So it can't be that. I don't even believe it was that. I just think that.
That's the only thing that we heard about.
Because they was talking about how the spacing on the floor and all that was a problem when he was on the floor.
And Caruso's going to help that out?
I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying there was something not gelling with them cats. That's why he wasn't getting no clock in the playoffs like that.
Well, look. Everything was gelling just fine the year before. So you got to feed me a better story than that, because
I'm not saying. I'm just telling you what I've seen. I'm not saying it's facts. Right. Maybe it is that, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is. I'm just, but as far as Memphis, I don't see them necessarily getting better. I don't.
But technically, like, they just need Ja, because Ja been carrying that bad team for the couple of years.
Right. So Ja, I would, if I'm Ja, I probably would welcome a trade. Like, oh.
Yeah, but he ain't in no position where he got no secure ground to stand on.
No, I'm not saying I welcome it. I ain't saying I request it. I welcome it though.
It depends on where I'm going, but with him being who he is.
If you the Clippers, would you try to make a run at him?
For Ja?
Yeah.
Like you just said, being in LA.
Take all the gangsta, all the thugged out stuff out. Would you try to make a run for him if you the Clippers and try to put up some trade packages and see if you can get them?
Let me see. If I'm the Clippers, I just re-signed James Harden.
Did they?
Yeah, they just re-signed James Harden.
Okay.
They trying to trade Westbrook. Paul George is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You still got Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
If I'm the Clippers, I'll be willing to give up to get Ja if you can guarantee me that Ja Morant would not be no off the court problem. I'll give up. Honestly, I'll give up Harden and Kawhi for him.
I'm not mad at that. Kawhi never available, so
exactly.
I'll trade Kawhi for all draft picks. I would.
You're right.
I would trade Kawhi for all draft picks. Just get out my building. Get out. I mean, straight up, I would just peace. You're not here anyway. So, but before we close out, because we're gonna hit the
we ain't gotta do it tonight.
The franchise. We're gonna hit that. We it's gonna all be a part of one joint. You know what I'm saying? No big deal. But Memphis with Ja, yeah, but I think
playoffs, he's there at least one more year.
Playoffs.
They was in the playoffs before this. Like they was a top 3 seed, I think it was.
With this roster?
Yes. Well, mainly because of Ja.
My apologies, Ja. So I mean,
that's why I said like Ja, when he's there and he's playing, he's a top 5 player.
That mean the Pelicans probably get knocked out then.
I mean, was they really in? Was they ever in?
Well, I'm just saying though. I mean, like I'm talking about just in that top 8.
The Pelicans, the Kings.
I don't think the Kings going nowhere. I think the Kings just had a health problem.
Right. So that's what
But
I'm saying. Like the West has some teams that was out for special reasons.
so I say this because they cap strapped. I really can't think of no moves except trading Ja and Jaren Jackson.
Well, Jaren Jackson, for one, that should be like move number one.
I mean, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
I hate that I'm paying Desmond Bain $2 million less than Ja.
But it's just man, they need financial advisors. These teams, man. But
they literally got money just to throw around.
Well, that apron is supposed to stop all that. So, Memphis, once y'all come back, I guess they'll be ascending right back up to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Will they be the top 4 team again? Probably not. But they'll be back up in there.
They definitely won't be in the play-in. What you're saying? They're not playing. They gonna be.
Well, I don't know.
Solidified
if you're
in
not
the
top
playoffs.
4 team, if you're not a top 4 team, technically you only 1 or 2 slots away from being a play-in.
Oh, so they could end up being.
Yeah, because now the play-in, the race is so tight.
Yeah.
You can't be comfortable being the number 5 seed. You know, because number 5 and number 6 seed means that you a couple of games out from being a play-in. So you could easily be a play-in team.
You're right. No, you're right. Well, my final prediction for Memphis, obviously, I mean, they're going to be back playing great. Unless Johnson, he got to work the rust off. So.
His game don't really because he's not a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
His game ain't based on that. His game is based on getting to the hole.
No, just timing alone. Just in-game rust. Like, just the speed of the game. Because practicing in the game is obviously different. I don't care how much they try to play at game speed. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The preseason will help him get kind of back to that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think they'll be straight. I don't see no championship or nothing like that. But
they got to get rid of Marcus Smart, too. Like, Marcus Smart, $20 million.
And didn't they absorb? That's Boston's contract they absorbed, though, wasn't it? Or did they pay him a new deal?
That's the Boston contract.
Yeah, Boston paid him that mess. So I mean,
but they can still get rid of that though. Like he making $20 million for the next 2 years with that contract.
Yeah. Marcus Smart and Jared Jackson got to be out of there. You know what I'm saying? I'll be trying to trade them cats. They should, man. But that will be my adjustments due to the talent being so bad. It's hard to say who. I would just listen to offers because me thinking of offers, I'm like, But somebody might call. How somebody might call you with something you ain't even think of. Like, oh man, you know what? Yeah.
Free agents really quick to go after.
Yeah.
Free agents really quick to go after for Memphis. I mean, well, they gotta re-sign Luke Kennard. That's that would be move number 1 for me. Number 2.
Would Imani Bates be good with Memphis?
No, not basketball wise, but Imani Bates already has his own problems off the court that he built. And given the fact that he didn't have any, and I'm pairing them 2 guys together. Like I just don't like the optics of that.
That'd be a cold duo.
It would be if it was just basketball. But because these are human beings, so you got to pair life with this. It's not a move that I would do. Maybe bringing in the DeMar DeRozan would do them some good.
Nah. I know DeRozan probably. I was sick of playing on these teams.
But Memphis is not a bad team. Memphis is going to have them, especially if he go there.
So you think DeRozan make him a title contender?
I'm not saying he makes him a title contender. I'm saying that he puts them back into that conversation
Maybe.
of being the top 4 team in the West.
Maybe
Because
so.
like you said, Denver's going down, right?
He could go to Denver, help them.
Yeah, he could.
Because Denver is.
But I'm thinking about, okay, you got your 1, you got your 2, you need a 3. DeRozan can play the 3. Apparently.
Right.
You got your 4, whether you keep or you get rid of Jaren Jackson, because if you get rid of Jaren Jackson, you just slide Brandon Clark into that starting spot. The only thing that you're missing is a 5. And you hoping that that's what Edie is supposed to be.
Edie is not going to be ready for a year. So, I mean, I think that's pretty obvious.
But at bare minimum, he's a body that can just play and get some experience.
You're right, but he's not going to really be, I don't think, me personally, I don't think he's going to be effective, honestly, for like another year. But that depends if you actually work with him, though. If you just let him sit there and don't do no extra work with him, he's just going to be...
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
who's that 7'7" dude who was getting banged on back in the day all the time? Sean Bradley? He'd be him. That's all he'd be, Sean Bradley.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, or George Mirasan. Actually, George Mirasan actually had some game. Let me not disrespect George Mirasan like that. But, you know, so.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, I mean, I'm partially thinking that that's what Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose was for, was kind of like to tame Ja a little bit.
Yeah, but Derrick Rose, he like, man, I'm not here to babysit people.
Yeah, that's what he
D Rose like, I'm not about to do all that, and he didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look. Regardless to what, he needs some kind of leadership.
He do.
Because it's not coming from his father.
Memphis goes as far as Ja take him.
Exactly. So while that's the case, if Ja's going to be there, then I'm like prepping for him to be there.
Right.
And I'm thinking DeMar DeRozan could be perfect for them.
You're right. I mean, it's a good fit. I mean, I'm thinking of like, well, DeRozan, do you want to play for contender? Because the Chicago Bulls move threw me off. So, I mean, maybe he don't.
Well, in all fairness to that Chicago Bulls team, they was like number 1 in the East one year.
With them, Zach LaVine, DeRozan on them, Caruso.
Yeah.
It's an odd mix of players, I'll tell you that.
Well, that was when Lonzo Ball was healthy.
You know, I love Lonzo. I like his game. Because he's a pass first one, and he plays the game the right way, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's why I like Lonzo. But, you know, it is what it is. That's neither here nor there.
Outside of that, I mean, as far as the free agents that's available, maybe Saddiq Bey.
He can play the 3.
Yeah, he can definitely play 3. That's another shooter. I mean, it's essentially a move like that is like prepping the lane to be wide open for Ja to go and do what he does.
That's what you want. He got to work on his jump shot, though.
He do, but this not only buys him time, but it keeps him with the space that helps him to continue impacting the game the way he's used to doing.
No, you're right. You're right.
So Saddiq Bey, I mean, it's the same exact names. Bro.
Yeah.
It's the same exact names. We just gonna keep saying the same exact names. I mean, like, can JaVale McGee still go?
Nah, I wouldn't do that. Just because, I mean, it's not like he can't still go. He can't give you NBA minutes like no long ones at this point. It's just what it is.
Bismack Biyombo?
Nah. He was always undersized for one, and he's older, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking for centers now, and I'm like, yeah, we ran out of real estate quick. Like, it's really that bad, dog. Like,
It,
is there any fours that we can slide over there?
nope. I mean, the talent is terrible. Word up. You know what I'm saying?
Like, this is Precious Achua again, same name. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. I'm not even gonna hold it up. I'm just trying. It's literally trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Well, I mean, we knew that already from jump, though. That's why this fix our squad's gonna be very interested trying to figure this out. But
yeah, my iPad just died.
Did it? Well, I guess that's a sign. Well, that'll conclude this. We'll be back for the teams that deserve. Was it expand? Well,
the cities that deserve or league expansion, because this is one of the things that we mentioned before. All the real basketball talent that is available, instead of shipping them overseas, we should have a number of teams available in the league.
Yeah.
To where they can have job opportunities.
We probably can make that a whole separate episode.
We can. I mean, but like
we could probably make that a whole separate episode.
But kind of what I was going for with the league expansion is like, what cities do you really think deserve a franchise? Like,
that's literally a whole episode. Trust me, we gonna have to. Yeah, that'd be a whole another episode. So that'd be fine. I'm because it works out in a sense because we could really get in there and break it down.
Right.
And break all that down. So I'm definitely, because we gonna touch on that because they talk about Las Vegas. I don't know about Las Vegas though, but you know what I'm saying? They keep talking about Las Vegas, but
I'm gonna just say this: that's not a good idea.
Because they keep saying they're gonna make a team over there. So
now, business-wise, I can see that being a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But player-wise, it's a bad idea.
Well,
it's a bad idea. Just look up the story of what happened to Henry Ruggs.
We gonna definitely touch on that because I need to look that up. We gonna definitely touch on that because I don't even know. I've heard of that name. Did he die? He alive?
Somebody died, but he ain't the one that died.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up there. I'm gonna look it up. So,
and obviously that can happen in any big major city, but like Vegas is Vegas.
Yeah, if you've been to Vegas, you know what's up. If you've been to Vegas, it's out in the open, man.
Right.
In the daytime. So I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's
not a good idea.
No.
So, I mean, at least my opinion, it's not a good idea.
No, you're right.
For the players. Now for the business side, that's an amazing idea.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, especially for the betting.
We'll talk about it more in depth.
Especially for the betting, that'd be crazy. Could you imagine because when you go before we slide, you already know when you go to Vegas, it's slot machines everywhere. You know all the slot machines with the slot machines. As soon as you walk into the arena, bro, that's gonna be crazy. Like straight up,
bro.
You know what I'm saying? But we gonna touch into that the next episode, so we gonna break that down. That's gonna be, and then whatever.
This is Fix My Squad Part 2.
Yeah.
Part 3 of Fix My Squad will feature the teams of. We'll round out the teams that wasn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
So that would mean for the West, Utah and Houston,
mm-hmm.
and for the East, Toronto and Brooklyn.
All right, bet it up. We'll be back soon. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share the content. We greatly appreciate it. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, yeah.